one
What's
toilet room,
up,
and a shower
chat?
in the other. So yeah. Oh,
We are
hey, chat, toilets.
live. Toilets and things. Nervous pooping, nervous peas, all that sort of stuff. Getting it out of the way. Welcome to another Sunday here in New Zealand with the lockdowns. Joy. Another week, maybe, possibly. Who knows? But anywho, doesn't stop the VTM going ahead because we're online. It doesn't matter. We're all stuck at home anyway. So, coming up tonight is the season 1 finale of our chronicle, Vampires of Melbourne-Blood and Belief. As you know, we had a bit of a cliffhanger last week too, but it's probably going to be more so tonight. Maybe we'll see what happens. But next Sunday night we'll be doing the mini adventure where I will be DMing 5 players. Will be which is called the Curse of Dusk Hollow. So make sure you're here 7:30, 8 o'clock, about the same time next week for that. It'll run no later than 10:30, same as everything else. I mean, VTM runs a little bit earlier, but most D&Ds run for about 3 hours. So 7:30 to 10:30. Hopefully over the next 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4. We'll see. After that, we'll be back to the VTM season 2 of our chronicle. Don't forget to check out Miss Yanti 1 over on her channel for the Stormlord's Wrath campaign, which we had last Friday. Awesome episode last week. I'm not going to say too much because there's some people that haven't seen it yet, but definitely check it out. It was a great session. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Lots of fun. So definitely looking forward to that again next week. Of course, Wednesday night here, Curse of Strahd as well. So without any further ado, welcome chat. Welcome players, storyteller, a recap from last week.
Cheers, thanks, Evil. Well, the Hounds. The Hounds continued their Tuesday night. We left off last game minutes before the happenings of the previous episode. Jax had gone outside awaiting Zane, and Zane had stayed inside making images of the electronic keys and some of the phones and tablets that were in the foyer area of the building of Elysium. Echo headed back to the Hound's Haven and made a call to Sam about Sophia's dress. During this time, the Anarch meeting continued, albeit after some shock of the intrusion that they had from the Sabbat leader. They decided to split names from a list of possible SI agents that Leslie had, and they were deciding to watch different areas and gather independent information to share, which information that would be delivered at Port Melbourne at a yet to be specified place. They spoke of where the Sabbat might be, and then after Pip was insulted somewhat by Sophia, the group defended him and how his information was gathered, or foreseen at least. Jonathan Phillips made his exit from the Elysium building, finding Zane trying to upload his phone. He gave a warning, but Zane kept the phone. Phillips spoke to Jax outside also, giving Jax a message for the prince, which Jax delivered almost instantaneously, stepping into the meeting room and calling the prince a fool. Luckily, it was noted that Jax didn't see himself, and the assumption was made that he was under supernatural influence. Everyone was leaving, but then the night altered drastically as the Channel 1 news helicopter crashed into the top of the building. The prince led those nearby to a secret exit as the collapsing roof caused some damage to a few of the Kindred. Jax and Zane heard the noise and chased upstairs to find out what was happening. Then gunshots could be heard in the building, with some camera inspections looked at, noticing that the SI had come to the party and were wreaking havoc from the ground floor up. Our Kindred within Elysium followed the prince's coterie to the armory, while the prince made a detour to a lower floor to release a friend to help them. Echo, hearing the news, made a few calls, then made her way as quick as she could in her jeep, then put herself on top of a building nearby, watching the smoke and fire within. The internal crew began their attacks, with some remaining in the armory. After a few of the SI agents were taken down, a mist rolled through, revealing a crazed killer who began taking out SI agents brutally. Lastly, the Sabbat phone in Zane's pocket beeped. Zane was quick enough to toss it, but everyone in the room was unable to avoid taking some kind of damage. And so, we continue our Tuesday night which is actually pushing into the early hours of Wednesday morning now, about 2 a.m., as our coterie try to get a handle on the attack that's going on. Echo, we're going to begin with you outside. You're standing on a rooftop nearby. You can see police vehicles, fire trucks, ambulances, all on the road outside Elysium. A perimeter of danger tape, brightly coloured plastic cones with barrier arms have been set up. The police officers are spread around in an area keeping locals at bay. There aren't many, it's early hours of the morning, but there's a few people out there with their cell phone cameras. From here, it looks like an aircraft crash, just like the news said. You can't hear any other noises, and you know that Elysium's walls are especially soundproofed. I would like you to begin the night making a resolve awareness roll. Resolve because you're scanning the street with your eyes, trying to examine what's happening. It's not investigation as things are at distance. So you're actively trying to take in what's going on.
That is a 4.
4 successes. High resolve, huh?
Pretty good.
So just describe for me where you are on the building and how you're taking this in before I give you your details.
I am at the rooftop across from the front door, a little to the side, and I am in the shadows as much as possible, and I'm looking for other shadows down there.
Okay, in the street lights you can see plenty of shadow. There's always a bright illuminated area which sort of dims off, and there's usually fairly dark points under like building frontages where they've got like a roof sort of area that hangs over. There are nothing in the pitch blackness, but there's little alleyways between buildings, definitely where vehicles are parked as well. Just points of interest that are definitely shaded over. Some of the street lights aren't working properly, some of them flicker and some of them are out, but most of them are going. With that roll, first thing you notice, first 2 things. The police are working tactically. They patrol this demarcated perimeter pretty out of scope for policemen. The firemen set up their hose, but they're in no hurry. When people come out the door of Elysium, and there are some people coming out, ghouls, Kindred, whoever, 2 ambulance staff instantly are upon them with 2 police officers, and they lead them straight into an ambulance. It almost seems like a forced escort to you. They're trying to make it look casual, but it's not. You can see weapons on their sides when they move their arms, and their jackets sort of move aside. And then, as you're taking in looking for shadows, you can also see a male figure on this rooftop in grey camouflage gear. He has a long rifle and he's pointed down at Elysium, and he has not seen you.
Oh.
As well as, you rolled a 4, you said?
Yeah, 4 successes. Yeah.
So you can see that this is an organised sting. The people down there cannot be regular law enforcement or emergency services, it's obvious. They're good at pretending, but they aren't very good at making themselves seem too casual, I guess. One of the ambulances closes its doors and leaves as you spot this man. And you think that is especially odd because Kindred wouldn't let themselves be taken to hospitals. They appear dead under every test. And then, as you notice this one man, you can see across the buildings along, over the way from you, not Elysium itself, but the one next to it, and then the one along, there are 2 more snipers aiming down. Total of 3 snipers that you can spot.
I would like to take the guillotine wire that I have on my person.
Yes.
And try to get behind that guy with the sniper rifle if he's using his scope.
Yes, he is. He's, like I say, he's under sort of camo, and he is locked into his scope. He has no one with him. He's on his own, and it looks like he is concentrated on what's going on. So you will need... Now, you have a power activated? Did you? I cannot remember.
I was going to use shadow perspective to listen in on people, but I'm going to try for touch of Oblivion now that I see him, to try to snap the tendons in his neck as I'm holding it with the wire, which is a rouse check.
Just open that up. There's one sheet I forgot to open. It's the character sheets. Foolish man.
So it's a rouse check, so And
Right.
it's a success. Whew.
Nicely done. So Touch of Oblivion. Right, so you're going to describe to me what you're going to do to him.
I'm going to wrap the wire around his neck to try and take off as much of his head as I can, but I'm going to snap the tendons with my Touch of Oblivion. Try to
Okay.
wither him, making it easier on me.
He has no idea that you're there, and he is human. So for your check, you will require you're going to try and rip his head off. I will say, this doesn't here, strength in a brawl, and he is going, and I will say add your Oblivion to that as well. Your Oblivion dice to that as well. And he will roll. What will he roll? Something to know. He's going to roll what's awareness.
Yeah, 5.
That beats his 2. So with that, and you can describe this, you put him down fairly easily. Give it to us.
As he's looking through the scope of his gun, I'm going to sneak up behind him and close it off his circulation and wither the bones in his neck as I just rip it the rest of the way, hopefully.
Sweet. You reach down and you hear him just before you get the wire beneath his neck. You hear him say, "Come on, just a bit closer." And as he breathes in, he puts his finger on the trigger. You pull that garrote around him, and using the Touch of Oblivion, the dark power that travels through that wire just sort of enrages your strength more, or it engulfs him more, and it just makes his skin and sinew just give, and you've just yanked straight through, tearing it. It grips his spine, and you sort of pull some of the bone through the skin as he just sort of gasps and falls dead.
Does he have a walkie-talkie or kind of comm?
Yeah, I won't make you roll anything for that. He definitely does. It's on his jacket. It's turned down very low, and it has a little earpiece in it.
I'm going to take his earpiece, and I'm going to take his comm, and
Okay.
I'm going to try and make a phone call, I think.
Okay, as soon as you put the earpiece in, you hear communique. You would have... It's interesting you did this. So you get instructions straight away. You can hear. It says, number 3, keep your aim. We're waiting for the leader, the shorter one, the one named Leslie. He has to exit sooner or later. Then you hear a few crackles from a few other bits and pieces here and there. Voices saying, "Yes, sir, yes, sir." And then another one. "Okay, weapon block C. Using the flamethrower, get him in." And you watch from the top of the roof as an ambulance door opens, and an ambulance officer, looks like he's just holding normal oxygen bottles in a case, heads into the building.
Oof.
Do with that as you wish.
All right. I'm going to make a phone call, I think.
Okay.
To my partner in crime, and when he answers, hopefully does he answer? Or do I have to leave a message?
Yes, he answers.
I'm going to say, "Hey, partner, you want revenge on what Jenny did to you? There's SI at Elysium. I'm on the rooftop across the front door. I could use your help."
Yes, I've heard as much. Already on my way there. Got a present for you.
Nice. I'll wait.
Arturo sends his regards. May call you later.
All right. And can I activate shadow perspective to listen down below at the people by the ambulance as well? Or is it too much to take in with the comm?
I would say if you're going to activate shadow perspective, you would have to remove the comms because you're going to get hard to filter.
All right, then I'll wait and I will keep an eye on stuff.
Okie dokie. So we'll shift from you and head to Pip and Zane first. Pip and Zane, the noise in your ears, it's continuous high-pitched tone. It takes a moment or two for your vision to clear. The ringing in your ears to pass. The coterie around you also shaking it off. That metal internal door is badly damaged. But you know there are 2 more doors blocking the way. Zane, you were quick enough that you didn't take the full blast, but you have shrapnel stuck in your right thigh and in your right upper chest area. It hurts. Pip, I believe you're still invisible.
Yeah.
And I also believe, I think I jumped the gun last week. I missed a bit of my paperwork and I brought it in after our comments. So you would have actually got a chance to make a roll, which we will do now. Make a dex and survival check for me. We may be able to remove one of those superficial damage.
Two successes.
Perfect. So instead of the 3 damage you received, you only received 2. And that was superficial. But Pip, you now look beside you where you were standing. There are small pieces of broken weaponry that had been shot like missiles. If you remember rightly, Zane was setting them up like shock stun guns and whatever on the bench. And they've just been shot beside you and racked into the metal drawers next to you. The metal frontage of one drawer is actually sort of buckled and hanging off, and you can see the drawer was full of containing nothing else more likely to go off than grenades. You were extremely lucky that none of those projectiles set anything off. You guys have free reign to do what you like now. I'll leave it to you.
Pip will drop unseen passage. He'll straighten himself out, pull his vest down, look at Zane. That was extremely close, Mr. Riviera. I suggest you be more careful in the future. And he's sort of like got a slightly different tone of possibly a man who's just narrowly avoid getting blown up, and he's lost it a little bit.
Ow!
Yeah, I don't know that we can stay here too much longer.
You any good at surgery?
Particularly.
The coterie in the room, Leslie's coterie, George, and the other 2 that were with you, one comes over and says, "Don't be a fool, you don't need surgery, just yank that thing out, you don't bleed properly. You'll be right, it'll heal."
Pip's gonna go over and yank it out.
Zane, do you let him yank it out? Well, that's the question. Are you quick enough? Pip, you can choose to change this if you like, but you're going to yank it out. I would say give me it won't be strength because it'll be easy to pull out. Just a dex athletics or anything you wish. And Zane, you need to oppose that if you want to be quicker than him. Your choice, either dex athletics or dex survival, or something that you think would work better.
I got 1 success on a very small dice pool.
Screw it, I'll just let it happen.
Let it happen. Pip pulls it out, you take another superficial damage, Zane, as it cuts and tears, because it's lodged in there like an arrow, and so when he pulls it, there's points.
Superficial is the minimal, isn't it?
Yes, that's the. If you're marking it as slashes and X's, it's a slash.
Right.
Yeah. Superficial is the minimal.
More! Do more! I've got a couple somewhere. Here, there.
Don't happen to have any bags of blood around here, do we, gentlemen?
That could be good.
The coterie look at each other. Yes, but not in this area. In the offices ahead. We have to go down the corridor through an office, and then there's a secret passage out, I believe.
Hang on, so you're saying we have to go out those doors?
It's the only way out of the armory. Yes.
I think they will burn us out if we stay in here. Are you gentlemen any good at stealth?
We are. They sort of look at each other. We have each abilities of our own. One of us is very stealthy, the other of us are, and they hold their guns up and very shooty.
Very good. Zane?
Yes.
Do you think you could be quiet for a little bit?
Me? Quiet? Never. Oh, hang on. Maybe.
But as a game, perhaps.
Game.
Would
Stealth
you
game.
would you like us to lead?
That would be preferable, I think. And I will, if I feel like the conversation's over, I will unseen passage again.
Sweet. You can talk an unseen passage, can you?
I don't know. It sort of suggests that as
Double
soon as
check
you're
it.
seen, it's not viable anymore. I don't know if it's just not viable for the person who you've spoken to, or
Okay, I'll just double check it, but you easily go into unseen passage as soon as you're ready. The others of the coterie grabbing machine guns, pistols, and a couple of grenades each. They cock them, they prep them, get them ready, and they look to you, Zane, ready to open the doors, waiting for you to give the okay.
What are you looking at me for? I don't know how to do this stuff.
is there
You
any
are-
armor in here?
When it comes to armor, yes, there's flak jackets. You've got military type garb, flak jackets, camo gear, SWAT team style pants, boots, gloves, all that sort of stuff.
I tell you what, you guys do what you do best, and I'll do what I do best. And with that, I
Pick up a flak jacket and throw it at Zane.
Yeah.
But I'll put one on too.
Yeah, I guess I'll put one on somehow.
Okay.
And I'll go and do unseen passage as well.
Sweet.
It's a
So-
rouse check, and I succeeded on mine. So
Good
A
as
rouse
gold.
check. So what I need to do for that?
What are
Roll
you doing,
one.
Zane?
Huh?
Sorry, what are you trying to do?
Unseen passage.
You're doing unseen passage as well. Yes, it's just a rouse check. So that's single blood dice, and you just need a success.
What about blank?
So a blank is classed as a fail. Success is the yank, and a critical fail is a skull. So you get hungrier by 1 point.
Awesome.
Zane, that puts you to 4, I believe.
Yeah, possibly. Well, hang on. I was marked at 2, so
And I thought you went up 1 last game, did you not?
possibly, yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It's fine.
No, it's fine.
So at 4, the voice inside your head tells you you're extremely hungry. And
Shut up.
as much as you don't want to go out there, you can sense that there's many a human agent out there who could do with, a bit of blood drain from their system to put into yours. And as George, the oldest one of Leslie's coterie, opens the door, he unbolts the locks and the metal keypads, the mechanical keypads that he's unhitching. He sort of gives you the nod. The beast in your mind is less likely to hold back at this point.
So, do I have unseen sense?
You have activated, yep. It doesn't fail the activation, just means you get hungry.
Okay. So with that, I skip out of the room towards for the first agent that I see.
Okay, just so you're aware, I just had a quick read of it too, Pip. So you can talk, but it needs to be no louder than a whisper. So as long as you're extremely quiet, as quiet as you can be, basically, whispering won't break it, but yes, talking will.
What about humming?
Humming definitely will break it, so you just want to be a little careful with your humming and skipping.
Okay. Then I'll skip quietly to the nearest agent.
Okay, as you guys exit these metal doors with the coterie leading you, there doesn't seem to be any SI agents or anyone of any kind in the corridors at this section. It's fairly safe. 2 of the coterie fade from view, much like you do. Now, even though you're all using a similar power, you cannot see each other. The only one visible is the oldest one, George, who's got his automatic rifle out. He motions like a military officer through the corridor, sort of waving you guys behind him. And I'll just get you guys to roll. It's going to be as stealthy as we can be. So we'll say dexterity stealth, Yeah, you guys will be getting a bonus because of unseen passage. No, you won't, because it doesn't make you stealthy. It just makes you invisible. So dexterity and stealth, please. And I'll roll for George and crew.
That sucks.
How much do you get, Zane, as far as dice?
Well, I mean, I got the dice, 2 dex and 3 stealth, but yeah.
Yep.
I only got 2.
Yep.
All right, hang on. So
unless you don't want to be stealthy,
no, this is good. I'll use two. Hang on. Never mind. All right. That's crap. That's a That's a pass and a fail. Hang on. That's a pass and a blank. That's pass. So 3 passes.
3 passes. So you pass the check, so that's fine. Any failures don't matter. Pip.
I got 1 critical success and 2 regulars.
Okay, nice. So that's 3 successes. So neither of you fail. Your stealth is fine, and the coterie stealth is fine. George leads up to the next corridor, the hallway. No one, nothing, no fire. The gunshots are distant. They don't seem to be on this floor. They started, as if you remember rightly, they started on the ground floor, and they seem to be working their way up, not down where you guys went, a level down. Secret areas, I guess, safer. Nonetheless, which way do you want to head? George looks to you. Well, he doesn't look to you, you're invisible. He signals up or down, whispering.
Is there a way out down here?
Yes.
Blood.
Okay, that's right. Down the corridor to the refrigeration. Follow me. And he leads you further down. We will leave you there for a second and jump to Jackson Aaron. Yep, you just attacked some agents in the corridor. You took them out fairly well. I believe there was only some minor injuries, and yeah, you saw the small-framed Kindred, crazy as can be. He took down the other agent in front of you, I believe, and he did not seem stable, and I think he said, run. Yeah. Nope, he does not. You can see he's Kindred, that's pretty much it. So you guys headed up, and then once you left the boys, you left the guys in the, what do you call it, the armory. Then you headed back through the floors. So you'd probably be on, at your choice, ground or second. Ground was pretty hectically full. I think I'd say second. Yeah.
I was muted, JJ. Sorry. Yeah. So Jax, seeing this, would probably back up away from any kind of action. Firstly,
no one can hear you. Oh, no.
Yeah,
okay.
I fixed it.
Sort of. Yeah, sweet.
And just get himself into a position where he can see what's going on the floor but not be seen by anyone else. Sort of back around the corner, make sure there's no one else around. Going to make a quick phone call while he's there.
Okay, so you're backing around the corner. Aaron, at the same time, what are you doing here?
I probably would actually say to Aaron, we need to find the prince and get him out of here as I'm backing up.
Good question where the hell he went, though.
But come with me, I can show you. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'd let him know that I can find him on my phone.
Yeah, and I'll be covering the hallway with the shoddy.
Sweet. So you pull back, sort of covering the hallway. So you pull back sort of around the corner of the corridor. Cool. There's a couple of doors behind you as you move sort of back around the corner.
Yeah,
knowing
we'll
the way
checking it. We'll be checking everything, just covering ourselves.
Yeah, you know the only way the SI agents can come are from the 2 stairwells that are ahead of you, so not behind you, so you're actually all good. Covering your way is good, and you want to make a phone call. Just as bearing in mind, as you backed away, I'll give you a bit of... You've left a couple of dead people in the corridor, and the small man who was crazily just furiously eating the SI agent he'd taken down. As you sort of back away, you see him leap off forward towards the stairwell, towards the noise, and he just sort of goes,
Wow.
and he almost like scatter crawls along the wall,
Yep.
and then poof, disappears into mist as you guys back around your corridor as he moves ahead. Something not stable with him.
Yeah, that
Make
was
it
mildly creepy. So yeah, so Jax is going to firstly call Joe.
Yes,
It's going to
Joe
be
was on his way.
It's going to be on speaker.
Cool.
It's going to call him. ETA, Joe. How far away?
We're about a block away now. We're just pulling up back from the building. There's a lot of police, a lot of ambulance, a lot of fire crew here.
Take position, high ground if you can.
High ground, gotcha.
Don't put yourselves in amongst this. This is not normal. This is SI. Don't trust that anyone out there is not legit. Make high ground. Take out any targets you need to.
We'll get up on the rave yard, which is next door. Take a point there.
Look for us on the other side of the graveyard. Hopefully, maybe 30 minutes. Hour tops.
Okay. Are you using Elysium tunnels?
100%.
If I remember rightly, Chopin said they come out in the graveyard anyway, back end.
Yeah, there'd be a couple of entrances there. Can you get a couple of guys covering that whole area just to make sure there's no SI around there? I'm pretty sure they don't know about it, but they know a lot more than we think they do.
Top of the Graveyard Club will have that covered, I believe. I'll get two up there and I'll put some on the building behind.
Roger that. See you soon.
And he hangs up.
And then I make another phone call, returning Echo's phone call.
Cool. Just while you do that, Aaron, you're keeping watch. Give me a wits awareness or anything of a similar that you believe, just for taking note of what's going on in the corridors.
Three successes.
Nicely done. So you can hear approaching footsteps. Like I said, there's two sets of stairwells, one corridor leading to the right, one to the left, and there's going to be stairwells ahead. The way the crazed Kindred went, you can hear noises from there. It sounds like him destroying whatever's coming. There's screams, manly screams, but screams nonetheless. But from the left corridor, the opposite way he went, it's like radio chatter. Quiet, but hearable. As Jackson makes his next phone call.
Right.
Relay any message you like.
I think someone's coming, and I'll put a fresh round back into, so I've got the full mag, in the shoddy.
Jackson pull his pistol and ready. Well.
Got his gold. Jax, make your call.
Makes a call to Echo.
Speaker or
on speaker still?
On speaker. Okay.
Hey, Jackson.
What's the situation out there?
We got snipers on the rooftop taking out one. They've got an ambulance. It seems like they're corralling Kindred out the front.
This place is crawling with SI agents. Don't suspect that they would be any different out there. Seems like this is organized. They knew to hit now, which is odd. But I'm going to start looking for the prince. We're going to get him out of here through the tunnels. Come out in the back side of the graveyard if we can.
And with that, your phone call is interrupted. Aaron, you see it first, and you hear it. Echo, you'll be on the phone hearing this as well. One of the doorways you can hear further down, which probably leads to the stairway, just this massive crashing noise, and then into the corridor, heavy footfalls, as a quite largely built man enters the doorway about 3 meters ahead of you, and he just blasts the corridor. And he's brandishing a backpack that looks much like oxygen bottles, but in his hands is not any sort of oxygen device, and he is flamethrowing that corridor. You guys have a split-second decision to make. As he's not in your corridor, he's in the one where you just take out these other officers, but he's just blasting corridors.
We got a problem. I got to go. See you soon. And I'll hang up.
Okay, wait a minute. Can I see the tanks?
The tanks are on his back. You have visual as he sort of came around the corner originally. but as he's just turned and sprayed the wall, seeing agents on the floor, he's just engulfed them, not knowing. He's just made a guess. So no, the tanks are away from you at this point.
So he's facing
towards
your
us.
direction, correct? Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll indicate to Jackson to back up so he can get around the corner a little bit more. And then I just say,
What other doorways are in this hallway that we're in?
So
Out of
you've got
curiosity.
two behind you, and then at the end of the hallway, there's a single. So your hallway's about 15 to 20 meters long.
Yeah.
You've got a doorway on the left, a doorway on the right, possibly other meeting rooms or rooms, and then one to the rear. Could be. It's hard to say because you've sort of been running around the building, but it could be
Yeah.
another office space or a bedroom or something like that.
That's all I really need. You like being bait?
He's moving towards you as you talk.
I'm backing down the hallway to the nearest doorway.
Cool.
What's your plan?
You can get him to turn. I can take out that tank.
Let's swap then. You've got a better chance of hitting the tank with this, and I hand him the shotty.
He's over halfway up the corridor now. Can you guys roll? Are you trying to be stealthy at all?
Nope. I'm just
Nope.
going to back down the hallway into the room.
So you're just conversing with each other at normal
Yep.
volume?
Yep.
So yeah, he's pinpointed where you are and he's headed straight your way.
Okay. So I back up down the hallway into the room
Into the room. Sweet.
and motion for Aaron to carry on down the same way down the hallway as far as he can get to the end door.
Sweet. So
I'll
you
do
back
that.
into the first room.
Yep.
It's an office space. It's got a desk, chair. There's some pictures on the wall. You don't have much time to take it in, but it
Yep.
is an office space. There is windows, but they are you know what they're like. They're largely bulletproof and darkened at the moment. Aaron, you're heading back to the rear of the corridor. So
Yeah, so to that single door and
Cool.
probably go through it.
Excellent. He steps into the corridor, and the first thing he does, he just blasts both sides with flame and just lets it. It's all just running up the walls now, and you can see he's in a specific sort of made suit for this. He's not going to take too much damage. At this point, he's just burning the walls around him. He heads forward, moves towards the door where you've moved into, Jax. He is seeing you, though, Aaron, and I will make a wits awareness for him just to see whether he notices an open door space. He's wearing a helmet and he has a lot of flames. He does not notice the open door space. He is following you, Aaron. You can, before he gets to the door, Aaron, if you make a shot, it's up to you. You have a chance.
Actually, yeah, as I'm going through the door, try to shoot him.
Cool. So you reach to open the door behind you?
More bang through it than open it.
Cool. So you're just going to like kick it with your foot or something?
Yeah,
Okay,
as I'm
so-
trying to get through.
Sweet. So the first thing will be a strength athletics or strength brawl, your choice. Or strength
we'll go-
melee.
Well, we'll go strength brawl because that's the same as melee anyway.
Sweet as.
Ooh. 3 successes.
3 successes enough to kick that door open. You're a kindred, you've got a bit of extra strength. No hassle. It sort of actually it was locked and it just busts off the hinge, kicks the door, and as you back in, take your shot. Now that will be the same thing. It's dexterity and firearms, I believe.
That's 2 successes.
2 successes. He's just going to make a dexterity and survival. Ooh, 3 successes. So your shot would normally do a lot more damage to him. He's taking damage. You see it catches him in the right arm, top of the shoulder area. I assume you're aiming center mass being a shotgun.
No,
He swapped.
I swapped, so I've actually got a pistol, so I would have gone center
pistol,
mass anyway.
Center mass anyway. So as you take the shot, kicking the door sort of just puts you off target just a little bit, and you hit him in that. It's not quite center mass, but it's more the right shoulder. And you see he's like, ugh. He's probably wearing a flak jacket, but it stops his movement for a second, and then he's like, ah, and he sort of runs towards you, spraying the flamethrower. And 2 things happen at once here. You'll need to make a dex survival or a dex athletics, Aaron, and Jackson, you'll get to see him as he passes your doorway right at
Okay.
that same point.
I'm not going to shoot him. I'm actually going to drop the shotgun and step out behind him,
Okay.
and I'm going to snap his neck.
Sweet. So Aaron, make your dex, whichever you choose, dex survival or dex athletics.
2 successes.
2. Okay, unfortunately, with a flame weapon, 2 is not quite enough to avoid it all. You, as it envelops the walls and sort of blasts through the door, you get out of the way a little bit, but it catches you instantly in pain. You take 2 aggravated and 2 superficial damage, and you need to make a willpower roll for me.
Okay, willpower. So that's 2, 4, 6, I think. Or is it 7? Yeah, 6. Okay, 1 crit plus 2 successes. So
Nice. So you avoid. The fire is frightening to Kindred, and you guys aren't frightenable people, but it's up and it's over you, and you can feel any exposed skin is already blistering and peeling as it can for a Kindred. But it doesn't frighten you enough to frenzy you. You've got that beast under control. You're holding. And with that, Jackson, you make an attack, drop your shotgun, and you go for this next snap.
Yep. Using lethal
lad.
body.
Lethal body, right? Yeah. So
Give
add
me
your
extra potence.
add your extra potence, and lethal body is a rouse check.
Nope, it's 3.
No, it's not. No, it's free. So that's good. So use your extra potence dice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. Holy shit.
Sweet. So that was strength.
Strength and brawl. Or
brawl.
strength and melee. But
Okay, so
I
I'll
went
make
strength and brawl. They're basically the same. So.
Sweet. I'm going to do the strength brawl opposed, and it won't be very good because he has 1 success. So how many did you get?
6.
6. With ease, and you can describe how
I
you
just
put it
literally
out.
turn his head round 180
Grab
degrees.
it, twist it right off. Okay, so with that, Aaron, you see it as the fire sort of blasts.
Before he
through,
drops, I grab the handle of the flamethrower so it's not continuing to burn and pull it away from his hand just to stop the fire because that's
Good
freaking me
idea.
out, man.
Good idea. As you grab the flamethrower as the last of the flame blasts, I'll just get you to roll a willpower as well. Because there's a lot of flame around you in the corridor.
2 successes.
2 successes. That's enough to stop from frenzy as well, because it was facing away from you. There is fire behind you.
Yeah.
2 successes is fine. The both of you are in safe point now.
Is Aaron still on fire at this point?
No, he was
There's
just
no-
engulfed in
okay.
it, but it waved past. So there's that room Aaron went into is a meeting room with a table and chairs. Everything's wood and it's shined and polished, and the flame that blasted through is not enough to keep anything on fire in there.
Sweet.
But this corridor wallpaper is coming up behind you now, is engulfed.
Okay.
Aaron, you saw this happen. You saw Jax head out and just grab this guy's head and just and he's dropped to the deck. The flamethrower is now no longer working. Because you guys are second to chat, and we'll switch to Sarah.
Retreat, grab the shotgun, go straight to Aaron and say, okay, we need to get out of here. We need to find a safe place. I can find the prince on my phone. We need to get him out of here. And we need to get back to Zane and Pip too. And get them out. We need to get out of here. The SI's crawling all over this fucking place.
Yeah, this is planned.
Yeah, this is not something we're going to be able to fight through just with a few of us. We need to recoup.
I like the idea of getting out of here. That sounds good.
Right. Follow me.
Right, and so you guys head, and are you going to head up the stairs again, the next set of stairs?
We're going to head back towards the armory.
Back down.
If we can.
Okay, back down.
Yeah.
Okay, so last thing
Using
you do-
Jax's relative knowledge of the place with the blueprints and everything else.
Cool. So the last thing you're gonna have to do is run through that end of the corridor, which is on fire.
Yeah.
To get there, because this is like an ended corridor. There's no other way out. So
Is there a fire extinguisher in this hallway?
So there is indeed.
Okay, Jax will grab the fire extinguisher.
And I will say, with the fire up on the wall too, the system would probably go off because you guys
Yeah.
upgraded the system. So
It'd
we
be-
will say
It'd be sprinklers and everything going off, yeah. All over the building.
Yes, the sprinkler system will have activated with the fire being at the roof, so we won't have to worry about that.
Cool.
Good call. It's something I have written in my notes, but not actually gone with.
I just making sure we're afraid of fire. We're going to have fire extinguishers, 100% at the very least.
My notes here say water and halon systems in
Yep.
certain rooms. So, okay, Sarah, sorry for the wait, but you and John finish feeding on the agent at the ground beneath you. It's only been moments, a scene, 6 to 10 seconds. Do you kill him through your feed or do you kill him through your weaponry?
Sarah was hungry, she'd kill him through the feed.
Okay, if you kill him through the feed, you just have to hold on a little longer. You would know that as a kindred, that you would need to hold on a little longer to drain him out. However, if you do that, it will reduce you to 0 hunger for the remainder of the evening.
Holy shit. Okay, yep. Yeah,
Okay.
she would definitely do that, so...
So John hops up before you. He's got his feed and he's guarding now because it's a long time, 30 seconds to a minute in the corridor draining this victim empty. Their radio sort of crackling of the agents is at the distance at the moment, but he's there with his weapon ready to go. You can see the fire nearby in the hallway, because they were using incendiary rounds, is becoming a bit more fierce, and once again the sprinkler system sort of goes off. You have fire in areas that hasn't quite reached some of the sprinklers, and as you finish up your feed, not bothering to let the wound close because this person is no longer with you, I would say both you and John just need to make a willpower check just to ensure you don't frenzy. Just need one.
Sadly, she goes into frenzy.
So John passes, but with your, I guess, coming off the feed with the fire behind you, the sprinklers go off in front, but the fire behind is just enough to set you off from that into your feed. Now, in frenzy, you have no choice but to remove yourself from what is creating the fear. So fear frenzy means you basically will do everything and anything in your power to get away from the fire. In this case means heading towards the sound of agents, and if you have to kill them, you have to kill them.
Okay. Which kind of sucks, because, yeah. Alright. So, she's starting to move away from the fire as much as she can. Are there any hidden doorways that she would know along the way as she's heading down that way?
Hidden doorways at this area, no, but as you head through the hallway system, I'd say there's a couple of doors to rooms, and there would be some coming up in the next sort of block in the next area, in the same floor, but in the next area you would know about.
Mm-hmm. So no way to possibly be able to go down from any of the doorways or anything like that, because that's where she would be trying to go.
You're trying to go down to the lower floors.
Yeah, I'm trying to go down to the armory because I went up a floor. I need to go down now.
Yes, you need to go down. Okay, well now you found John, and yes, you would know that there's like I say, it's 1, 2, 3. So it's about 3 rooms down. There is a secret hatch into the lower, which will still mean probably facing another 1 or 2 agents from what you can hear. If you make an intelligence awareness just to focus on what you can hear.
Okay, and I've got no hunger, so.
And you've got no hunger, so yeah.
Awareness is that, right? That is 2 successes.
2 successes. Yeah, it just sounds like 2 agents. You're in frenzy. 2 agents. You and John have got this, and you just move down that corridor, heading towards the 2 agents. Both agents they look very much like SWAT team members that you come to. Helmets, flak jackets, full kit armor, holding automatic-looking weapons, and they turn as soon as they see you guys head into the corridor. I will give you a chance before they turn. Actually, roll me. No, I won't, because you're in frenzy. No stealth.
I know. I was sitting there going, I could stealth, but I'm in frenzy.
You're in frenzy. All you see is 2 bags of meat ready to eat. You're not even hungry. You just want to eat them for the sake of it in frenzy mode. So they will see you.
She would probably go for them if she saw them.
So the full corridor length to get to the door you're headed to is basically where they're at, which is about 30 feet in meters. So it's about 20-ish meters down. It's a long corridor. They're going to see you as you head to them. John, seeing what you're doing, is just flanking you. He is right on your heel. He is just chasing down. You guys have Fang's beard. These guys are quick, and I'm just going to roll dice. 2. So you need to make... you're frenzied. Sorry, I'm cancelling some of these dice rolls because you're frenzied. You can't. Your decision is direct at them. I apologise. They are dropping what you would recognise now. A tennis ball like metal object tossed straight at you and John. Pops in front of you, and they pull back around the corner down the stairwell.
I know what they are.
You know exactly what it is.
Yep.
I will say you're not silly. You're in frenzy, but you know what this is. I will give you a dex It's going to have to be a Dex Athletics or a Dex Survival.
It doesn't matter either way. It's the same dice roll.
Okay, sweet.
And that both fail.
Both fail.
Yep.
So this little device, John grabs your shoulder, and you're still heading forward, and you sort of pull him. Not that you're stronger, but he just wasn't prepared for you just to be so in such a rage and such a frenzy. You pull forward, and the little ball just opens up, sprays in an instant that oily substance that we know from the first meeting that Leslie had with it, and you guys know from studying. It ignites. You take 3 aggravated and 2 superficial damage, and you will need to roll another willpower.
Fail.
Fail on the willpower again.
Yeah.
So you are now past the point of frenzy, as in pushing your frenzy. You cannot stop the frenzy. Those guards went around the corner. You're running through fire. You're terrified. You cannot go anywhere but forward. You run into the guards. 2 guards attacking you. They are automatic weapons. You are on fire. So mark your damage.
Yep. Well, if I'm still on fire, I'm going to hug those bastards, and I'm going to attack with my scalpel.
Go for gold.
And I'm going to do my agility roll as well as my medicine roll. So
agility,
Dex
medicine, as you spoke.
Yep.
Good as gold. And John's going to make his attack as well. And he's going to use the weapon he brought with him. Actually, he's going to use strength and potence.
And that is 1 success, but I'm on fire. So I wonder if they get on fire at least.
So that's exactly what's going to happen. It doesn't matter how much body armor you're wearing. Fire is fire. 1 success. So you're not doing a hell of a lot of damage to them. They've managed to a lot of the armor they're wearing is helmets. You're raining down on their head, and then you've got your scalpel, and you know where to aim, and you think, yep, neck, that's exposed. But they're just quick. They block you, but as you grab them, they're catching on fire. John with his weapon, and he's brandishing 2 short swords now, and he's just in on the second one that you've grabbed on fire, but he's not in a frenzy. He's sort of partial to getting in on that fire, and he's grabbed the leg more, and he's just hacking at one's leg who's screaming next to you now. They are taking excessive amounts of damage as you sit on top of them, holding down the fire. You're going to take another superficial damage as you're burning. Sorry, 1 more aggravated damage as you burn.
Alright, let me look at that, because I'm almost down, I think.
Yep.
So I'm down to 1 left.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I'm down to 1.
Okay, down to 1.
1
These
more
guards,
superficial and I'm out.
These guards are going to take nothing else to go out as well. They are burning and screaming in your ears. John sees this, and the sprinklers have gone off. I mentioned that before. So once again, sprinklers are on. I will say, and I'm going to roll a dice here. Okay, if you roll me, you know you're on fire. You know these guys are about to die. Your frenzy's to put the fire out. I would say you roll along the ground, like a stop, drop, and roll technique.
Yep. So
give me, it's going to be, and you don't have any hunger dice, so it's beautiful. I would say stamina survival, or anything you feel fits in that section. Dexterity survival, stamina survival, your choice.
Stamina, but so definitely stamina and survival.
Well, if you think of something else that could work.
I'm actually having a look to see if there is anything that I would insight. I don't know. Insight to know that I would need to do that.
Stop, drop, and roll is definitely a thing you would know to do. Can't cross survival and insight. No, I think it would have to be either dex and survival or stamina survival. Yeah.
Stamina. I'll take stamina. And that's a 1 success.
1 success to roll in the floor that is now getting covered in water is all that you need to put the fire out. The fire is out, but you are very badly damaged. And John's there, and he's already grabbed an extinguisher, and while you're rolling, he's been blasting you.
Would their blood be fresh enough for me to try and get something back?
You would... Yeah, I would say if you take another drink, you would be able to gain 1 point back.
I'll do it. So I've at least got one left and superficial. So yeah.
There's gold. You're going to spend about. It's going to take you a little longer. You're in a lot of pain. So it's going to be about a minute while John guards you, and this is a stairwell. So he sort of encourages you to pull the body back a bit.
Yeah, I'll try, with his help, try and get it into a more of a secluded way, so I can get some food.
He pulls you back into the room you're actually headed to, and closes the door behind you now that the fire's out. And as luck would have it, from out of a space with the secret door, slides aside. Mr. William Chopin sticks his head and he says, "Oh my God, Miss Sarah, are you all right?"
Just let me have some food first, and then we got to get out of here. They're hurting us up.
Do it, feed. I have a hatch in a corridor. I can help you. Feed now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna feed and then I'll follow William.
Sweet. He lets you feed for the minute. He talks to John. They've latched the door. They've moved some furniture in behind it. And while you feed, then they lead you to a corridor. It's a secret hatch, and it leads down. And you know this one. You were headed to it. It goes through the bottom floor, past behind the areas of the armory, and to the under cells area that Leslie keeps. Not many allowed in the cells area normally, but on this occasion, there's no guards to stop anyone making their way. You know this area leads out to Northcote Graveyard as an exit. William talks to you on the way. He says, "I am very, very sorry. All the wards are working down here. None of them seem to be getting through. The two lower areas haven't been touched. They've just gone up. I haven't seen the prince. Have you seen the prince? Is Leslie all right?"
As far as I know, Leslie is fine, but then you know what he's like. He likes a fight. He's going to be in there. Get him out.
Yeah, we scanned the cameras and saw him jump some from behind, but the cameras got taken out not long ago. Whether it's fire-based or the SI got them, I'm not sure, but this corridor leads, and he sort of points away. If you follow one of my men, and he's got two Kindred guard now, if you follow one of my men, they'll lead you out. It'll go to the far end of the graveyard where we have a vehicle waiting for you to take you wherever you need.
Go find Jackson and go find Zane. They might be able to give you more insight on where Leslie is, but whatever you do, get them out of there. They are hurting them up. That's what I noticed when I was coming down.
Okay.
They're trying to get us to go up.
Yes, I have noticed as well. I will do that. I'll leave you here. Thank you for your help, but we do apologize for this happenings.
That's fine. I need to go.
I do.
And I will head out. And when I get they're taking me out, so it wouldn't be Warren.
Yes. Yep. So you've got John with you, and you've got two of his guards.
All right. I'm not going to go to my haven. I'm going to go to one of my safe houses.
Okay. So before you get out of the building, is there any, on the way in the car, before you get to your haven or safe house, is there any calls you'd like to make or anything you'd like to do?
I don't have a phone on me.
Don't have a phone. One of your men, maybe?
John,
or the driver of the car?
If the driver of the car has a phone, I will grab that phone. And only phone number I know off by heart is Zane's.
So William Chopin supplied the car and a driver. His driver would have a phone, and yeah, of course, you wouldn't know anything other than Zane's off by heart. So you have Zane's number. Unfortunately, you don't know where Zane is, and when you make the call, actually, I would say time has passed. Zane's crew is probably in the corridor. I would say make the call. You've got it.
Yeah.
Zane, your phone, is it on silent?
No.
No. So you guys are stealthing up the corridor. Pip, Zane, Jack, the coterie of Leslie's, and he's just asked you which way to go. He heads towards the fridges. You're in the fridge room, getting some blood. You can still hear gunfire, but you're still a floor below. Your phone rings quite audibly. George instantly points his gun at you, and he's like, "Jesus, turn that fucking thing down or off."
Oh crap! And I swipe it to end call.
You swipe it to end call. Okay. It goes to mailbox here.
For fuck's sake, Zane, I understand why, but don't go up. Go down. Go out through the tunnels. Whatever you do, do not go up. And they're doing fire. Avoid them. And I'll just hang up from that. That's all I can do.
Sweet.
Because I kind of figured if he hasn't answered, there's a reason.
That's fair. And with that, Sarah, you are taken to one of your secret safe houses. Thank you for joining us this evening. We'll get back to you at the end of the game for a moment. Cheers. Apologies, everyone. We will get back into it. Echo. Still at the top of the building. You've killed a guard. You've taken in what's going on. You've had a call from Jax. What are you up to at this point?
I figure I have some time before my friend gets there. How many meters away are these people that are getting herded into the ambulance from me?
So the building you're on, Elysium's about 5 stories, and the building you're on's either 5 or 6. It's similar looking. From where you're standing, it's hard to say exactly, but you've come up the outside fire escape. But you would imagine it's about 5 or 6 stories up. So in saying that, it's probably a good few hundred meters.
All right. I figure I've got some time. I'm going to try and make my way down to as close as I can get in the dark to this ambulance. And I'm going to cast Stygian Cloud. I'm going to whisper to her, I hope this works. And it's a radius of 8 meters.
Yeah.
And a shadow just ripples across every surface and suffocates mortals.
Okay,
Hopefully
so...
putting out fire, too.
Well, it removes oxygen from the space, so I would guess that it would. You need to make the rouse check for that.
Okay. That's a bestial failure.
That's a bestial failure.
Well, it's a skull, yeah.
That's nice. You go up in a hunger for one.
Right.
In your head, you hear, it's almost like Arturo talking to you. You're better than this. These people are beneath you. They are nothing but cattle. They are food. This shroud is fine, but don't you just want to chew down on 1 or 2 or 3 or 4? Yes, maybe you do. The darkness spews out from you. It spews out from each shadow that's nearby you. It envelops 1 ambulance, 2 officers. It's like someone just shut the lights out inside the bottom of a building, and there is no natural life for these people. You see 2 of them grabbing at their throats. It expands over the surface of the ground. It expands along over a fire hydrant and near a police car, which is here as well. It engulfs the police car, and there's an officer in the police car using a radio, possibly an SI agent from what you could gather. There's an officer sitting on the front of a police car, watching the door, waiting for something to come out. They are both enveloped, gasping, clasping at their throats, trying to talk, but even the sounds are muffled. They are struggling to hear or see each other. They're dropping to the ground, and the fire in the front entrance that's sort of burst out a window or 2 is just completely engulfed in this darkness as well. And it just sort of flickers and snuffs, and it's just thick black smoke now that you can see, but no one else can. You have feeding choices here as these characters are people. As these people are dying in front of you. There's about 6 in total that you've engulfed. Others that are looking the other way or in the barricade areas haven't noticed quite as yet, but it's not going to be long till they do. For a feeding opportunity, 2 things are going to have to happen. 1, you're going to have to be quiet, and you're not frenzied. You're just extremely powerful and hungry. So I will say make a stealth check, dexterity and stealth, if that suits.
Stealth. Alrighty.
And you're in the Stygian shroud, which should be fine. So I'll say add your Oblivion to that as well.
Ooh. Okay.
And they will make a notice check.
Be 5.
5, that was so close. I had a 4. So no one notices you as you get onto one of these officers that is gasping for air. And you just... And how do you pin him down, or how do you grab him? How do you feed from him?
I'm going to take the closest one, even though I want the one that's kind of hurting people in the ambulance. But I'm going to take the closest one and just grab him and pull him close to his neck and bite.
Right down. So I'll say he's struggling for breath. You're going to have to give me a strength athletics. And I would say add an extra 3 dice to your pool because he's struggling.
Oof. Can I make it strength and melee if I take a dagger out and stab him?
Yes, you can. Well, you can make it strength and melee if you're using your hands to roughhouse him either way. So yes, you can.
It's just 1 extra dice. 2. I have 2.
Excellent. And plus I said add 3 to your pool.
Oh.
Because you've got him
hang
in
on.
Stygian Shroud. Don't forget your hunger dice.
3.
That's 3 successes.
Yeah.
That's good. 3 successes is good. You drag him in close. You insert the knife under his ribs.
Probably, yeah. Or no, I'm gonna slit his throat.
Slit his throat and then drink from the wound.
Yeah.
In the black cloud, when no one can see or hear his screams or cries, where he can't cry out, you just slit the throat. You hear the gurgling yourself, but it's masked from everyone else as you drink. How far do you drink him? Actually, you bestial failed. You need to roll a willpower to stop drinking. Your willpower check. You need to make... How many willpower dice do you have?
I have 5.
You need to make 3 to stop.
Oh god, okay.
That's if you want to stop.
I have 2, so...
You do not stop.
No.
You drink him down to death, which he would have died anyway. You cut his throat open, but you drink him to death. Now, normally, killing a human would give a stain, but in this... For everyone, in this engagement, they are attacking you. Therefore, it doesn't incur a stain. Human lives would normally incur one, but the SI agents class a little differently. And you drink him down to his last drop, and you drop the empty husk of a body to the ground. Do you stay? As you've got yourself under control, you've drunk him to death, you can take your hunger to 0 for the rest of the evening.
Yeah. I have no love for the SI. So yeah.
Sweet. You had to anyway, so that's fine. Do you wish to stay down here, or do you want to pull back to meet your partner?
I'd like to stay as long as possible to kind of scare them or suffocate them and then get back on that roof.
Okay, Stygian Shroud duration 1C. So it lasts for 1 scene, so we're about to pull away from the scene, so it's about to end. You've done a fair whack. I would say by this stage, with the Shroud's coverage, you've taken down that 1. You've probably put down 8 of the 16 officers out here. That's half of them down outside. No more are arriving. A lot have gone into the buildings. You can pull back to your hidey hole or somewhere else if you like.
All right. I'm going to do my ashes to ashes on him since I've slit his throat. And I'm going to touch him, and he should disintegrate to ash. And then I'm going to head for that roof.
Excellent. I haven't got ashes up. Is that
It's
around?
free. It's free.
So you just can describe that for us. That'd be awesome.
As I'll just say ashes to ashes as I finish feeding, and I'm just going to crumple him and to dust.
And his body, almost as if he was like a kindred dying from years and years of being alive, he just sort of slowly, where you touched him, just sort of caves in, turns to ash, and then bit by bit, the rest of his body just sort of flocks away, almost like watching the like pixels just sort of disappear into the ash onto the street. Mild wind and light drops of rain soak it away. And you head off back to the rooftop, did you say? Sorry?
Yep, to wait.
Sweet. Okay, last thing before we switch characters again. As you're heading back up to the rooftop, you get a phone call.
Hello?
Is your phone on silent?
I would hope so. I hope I would be smart enough to do that.
I would like to think everyone would be, but I'd like to ask just to see.
Except Zane.
It is your sire. Where are you?
At Elysium rooftop.
We had a feeling something was going on tonight, especially tonight. Your partner should be there in a moment. He's bringing you a gift.
So I've heard. Thank you.
This is a golden opportunity to create a havoc.
Halfway started already.
Have they got the drop on your team?
My coterie is inside, if that's what you mean.
They know how to get out?
So far, they're having a little trouble, but I think they'll manage. I'm keeping an eye out for them and the prince to see where they're headed.
Do that. You've got this under control.
Thank you.
And he just hangs up. Well, that will leave you there. Right, Pip and Zane. You guys have entered the refrigeration room for blood. Easy enough to drink some if you need. Those of you who are baggers will get your 2. Those of you who aren't will just get 1. So basically 1 health point back, or remove 1 aggravated. Or is it superficial or aggravated? I forget, to be honest. I think it's superficial. I'm being a nice DM today because it's a great story. We'll say remove 1 aggravated each. You've got a plethora of blood bags in front of you. So
Yeah, aggravated. Which one again?
Big
aggravated is if you've marked it as an X. Superficial is if you've marked it as a dash. So basically, you get a whole block back.
So how many blood bags for each?
I would say you could take some with you, but you're not going to benefit from having 20 or something of them in one go.
I was going to have a couple or a few or a. Probably,
I'm being a nice storyteller. I'm not being an extremely nice storyteller.
I wasn't.
Yeah, and take some with you.
No, I was going to go in there, open the fridge.
Just guzzle it.
Take one.
So while
Another one.
Zane's at the fridge, I'll be able to tell Zane's there. When I go up behind him, I'm like, Zane, I'm going to do everything in my power to keep you alive for now, which is substantial after you blew my shit up. But if you could meet me at least a little bit halfway into keeping you here, I would be eternally grateful.
Yep, just a sec.
And Pip will grab round him and grab one for himself.
Sweet as. Same thing. If you take a couple of them, you can
As
remove.
he's doing that, I grab it out of his hand and take that as well.
Oh dear. There's plenty there. So you can grab more, or you can just beat up Zane. It's your choice.
I'll be patient with him and wait until he's left and grab one if there is one to have.
Sweet. Okay. There is definitely more than enough for you to take at least 1, if not 2.
So I've probably had about 4 or 5. That includes the one I just pinched.
Yep.
And I'll take a couple along with me.
Good as gold. Like I say, if you remove that 1 damage, it's fine. And Pip, you can do the same if you like. Even though you're not a bagger, we will say that the amount of damage you've taken, if you stick around and drink a bit of blood, you can move. It's your choice, 1 superficial or 1 aggravated.
So how much hunger would you like me to take off?
So basically for you, that's just 1.
Cool.
You can usually only heal 1 each night, I believe. So by drinking these bags of blood, it's taking your hunger off as well, but not healing you much more.
I'm just going by the fact that I was at 4 hunger.
Sorry, for you. You're a bagger, right? That's 2 for you.
Okay.
Yep. So 1 for Pip, 2 for you, and you're able to heal 1 aggravated each.
No, I was just going for the fact that the hunger was getting to me a little bit, so.
No, that's fine. Good as gold. So that puts you down to 2.
Yeah.
So now that we've helped Mr. Riviera a little. Which way now, gentlemen? How do we get out of this nightmare?
George is like, well, we've hit it pretty lucky being down here. William's got wards and stuff, and it's very, very secret. So, thankfully, I know of another corridor we can take to a hatch that'll get us to relative safety.
So I take we're in a pretty safe area at the moment.
Well, we're safe until someone finds this area, yes.
All right, so I drop me unseen passage.
Okay.
Take out the phone, and
which would have dropped as you started talking and making noise, but yeah.
And listen to the message.
Yes. Then you get Sarah's message to don't go up, stay down, use the exit ways, and basically telling you that it's SA agents using fire. And you recall her message.
Yeah. And I'll tell the rest of them.
Sweet.
The closest egress would probably be the best, I think, gentlemen. We should leave.
Yes, I agree, George says. I've got down the corridor where we were headed before, we came this way. There's a hatch. It'll take us a little ways to get there, but it will lead us out to somewhere in the graveyard. Follow me.
Good.
Following.
So it takes you back out to the cold area. Once again, the other two coterie members gone invisible.
I don't.
You don't?
I do.
You do. Make the relevant checks if there are any.
Success.
Success. Once again, Pip, invisible. Now you guys may not be talking, but is there anything else you'd like to do on this walk to the secret hatches? Phone calls, anything like? Obviously, invisible Pip's not going to make any phone calls, but is there any phone calls you want to make, or any other powers you want to activate?
I might do sense unseen, just in case there's something else down here.
Good thinking. So with that, sense the unseen, and I have your character sheet in front of me right now. Sense the unseen is a free system, but I'll get you to roll wits and auspex. As you guys are heading through the corridor, and you're activating sense the unseen. George is moving reasonably quickly, but pretty quietly. The other coterie members of Leslie's you can't see. And as you activate sense the unseen, how many did you get, Pip?
So I got the 2 criticals, so that makes...
Nice, that's 4.
And 1 regular.
1 regular.
Success.
Excellent, all successes, that's good. Your eyes gloss over nicely, and you spot straight away the other 2 of Leslie's coterie. With sense the unseen active, you can imagine predator vision. You can sort of see them in that sort of predator vision mode. They move along right behind George as if they've done this before, and you can see a couple of other figures in the corridor. Obviously Kindred, making their way very similar to what George and his coterie are doing, making their way towards this hatch that George is about to open. They don't seem to be aggressive, but they are heading the same way as you. You recognize them from in your meeting as a couple of the Primogen Council members. As George opens the door, they make themselves visible to you all. It's the Nosferatu leader and the Malkavian leader. They greet you just with a nod as George opens the panel. He says, "Make your way through here. Primogens first." And the Primogens lead through, and William Chopin pokes his head out the door. The Keeper of Elysium. "Oh, it's good to see you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we've got most of the Primogens out now. George, right, Pip, Zane. Zane's here. Where's Pip?"
I'll drop it.
Drop it. Oh, good. Are you guys all right? Oh, and he sees that you're quite badly burned and damaged.
Don't say a word.
I didn't think the SI had gotten down here.
Don't say a word. Nah. Yep.
Zane's made very poor choices in life. Let's leave it at that.
Okay, well, we need to make a move because they are scouring the areas pretty heftily. So far, they haven't made it. And as he says that, you hear, and there's an explosion from above, and some of the paneling of this metal area, roof area, falls through. And Chopin's like, correction, quick, through the door.
Yep. We'll leg it.
You both leg it? Sweet. I will say, speed's not your guys' skill, I know, but give me a stamina survival because things are coming through that hole. I want to see how quick you are.
No survival.
So if you've got nothing, it's just a single die. And add the
So I
blood
got
die.
2 successes and a bestial failure on the blood die.
Okay, that's good.
They were all blood die, so
2 successes beats the failure, so that's fine.
2 success.
2 successes, that's good.
Yeah, because I had 2 blood die, 1 normal die, so
Nice.
2
That's
success.
all that matters. Even if it fails with 2 successes, you're right. Even if the one blood die fails. So you guys are quick enough. You're enough damage as it is. That you're like, oh, I'm out of here, and you head into the trapdoor, and William closes it behind. As you hear people entering the area as he's closing the door, and radio chatter, gunshots. Not sure who they're shooting at, but there's gunshots. You follow through the corridors for a good 5 or 6 minutes. William points out a few spaces not to step. He sort of makes, as he walks through, he sort of switches, and then switches them back as you pass areas. And then he even draws some of his own blood at stages and sort of does a circle with a cross through it on the wall, and then not a perfect cross, like it's like an off-angled sort of pie shape, cut pie shape. And then after 5 to 6 minutes, he leads you to another space, opens another door, and says, take these 2 of my guards. They will lead you out. It takes you out to the back end of Northcote Cemetery. They're all different areas. We're not all going to leave out in one area. It's too dangerous. But there doesn't seem to be any agents in the cemetery. Is there anything you need? There's a car and a driver out there waiting for everyone.
amazing. That will be perfect. I think we're all right, aren't we, Zane?
Yeah. Where's Jax and Aaron?
We will message them. You will message them. Message everyone. Let them know we got out so they don't waste time looking for us.
Okay.
I will watch you do it.
I'll start doing that.
This is a time...
It's just text.
Just text? Okay, sweet. I was going to say, it's a good time to make a call if you need to, but William would have mentioned that it's pretty hard to make calls in these corridors. They're specially designed to be quiet. But yes, a text, once you get out of the building, the text will send properly. Or you can ask William to move you into a safer room space.
Outside's fine.
Okay. So it takes a few minutes to get outside. Just before you get there and make your text, this is a heightened tension pit. Something probably you've experienced more with the hounds than ever. As far as... I'd say this is probably the most excitement Pip's ever had. And when I say excitement, I use that loosely. Pip, as you're wandering through the corridor, you feel a dizziness. You know what it is, and you brace for it. And it's because these are secret passageways, they're very thin. So you sort of put your arms out to stable yourself, I reckon. And I'm going to say, let's see. You tell me how you would try and position yourself feeling a premonition coming on.
I would probably try and brace my back against the wall, so catch myself and then sort of brace myself against one of the walls and sort of...
Yeah, just trying to compose yourself and steady. So I will say, can you make me, and I don't know if this helps you at all, composure and... bracing with your arms. Composure and athletics for me.
It's terrible.
That's terrible? Or anything you think would help better that would sort of be aiding you in this situation?
Composure awareness, maybe? Awareness of the surroundings?
Yes, yep, okay, I'll give you that. Yep, that's fair. Because you're trying to compose yourself and you're trying to, using your awareness. I will give you that.
2 successes.
2 successes. So it's you feel that feeling coming on. It's almost dizziness, almost like you're going to have a fainting episode. You try to brace yourself, but you know you don't have much in the way of strength. So you just sort of go down to one knee, knowing the small area, and put your hand up to stop anyone behind you. Using, composing yourself and using your awareness of the area to stop them from tripping over you. I like how you use that. And I'm not going to make you roll for the premonition because it's coming automatically this time. You see, it's normally you get a vision of the happening in the now, and so what you see feels like the now. You see a face. It's Timothy, Jeremy, whichever you want to call him. His face is close to yours, and then it shifts. And it's not Timothy anymore, it's the sheriff. And then it shifts again, and it's not the sheriff anymore. It's Jenny, and then it shifts again. And it's back to Timothy. Then you see a vision, snipers on the roof. Yeah, it's almost like a helicopter vision. You can see the building next to Elysium has a sniper on it. And the building next to that has a sniper on it. And then across the road, there's a sniper on a building. But that sniper's dead. He's bleeding. Echo stands over him. And then your vision flashes. You see Billy. Billy Singh. He's not one of the snipers on the roof that you've seen so far. He's just moving casually along the rooftop, bounding to the next rooftop. Carries something with him. Then your vision follows to the graveyard, and you see the sheriff in the graveyard. He's stalking Leslie. And then you break out of your vision. Sweating. And you don't sweat. Kindred don't sweat. But beads of sweat, almost like little pools of blood on your head. They are little pools of blood.
Oh, shit. Does anyone know
What?
where Marco,
What's going on?
the prince is in trouble?
What do you mean the prince in trouble? Explain.
Billy, Marco. Does anyone know where the prince went?
No idea.
We need to go.
Go where? Outside? Yes, definitely outside.
Out, definitely. And I'll stand up, try and relay to the others what I've just seen as best I can, like the environment.
So you just give them like a broad description of what you've just seen through your vision?
Yeah.
Cool. They your men still have Overwatch, Jackson. Yes, yep. It's all good. I like the excitement in the room. The coterie around you and William's guards that he sent with you sort of give a nod and they're like, okay, we'll need to be careful out in the graveyard then. One of the coterie goes, that doesn't seem like the sheriff. He's usually one of Leslie's closest all the time. I don't believe it. I'll have to see it to believe it. And you guys head out. And we're swapping to Jackson and Aaron. Jackson and Aaron. You've made your way down a level. The SI agents haven't spotted you. You're quick. You're moving with precision. You get into the level where you know the armory is. You just missed the team exiting the doorways through the hatch. You haven't seen them. By just miss, you haven't seen them. You're on the opposite sort of end of a similar corridor, or the same corridor, and you witness the explosion through as a couple of SI agents drop through. It's at a distance. They're a ways from you. They're not looking your way, but they have seen this little hatch shut, and they're headed that way towards it. You have prime corridors and doors to utilize.
Jackson would probably look at Aaron and because only 2 agents that we saw.
That came through the roof at this point, just the 2. Yep.
Jackson probably look at Aaron, grin slyly, and just start making a beeline for them.
All right. No hassle. Aaron, you're doing the same thing?
Yeah, I'd actually put away the shotgun and activate feral weapons.
Nice. All right, you have the drop on them. They've made a big noise. They've seen this hatch close, and they're moving up the corridor towards where this hatch closed. One of them's kicking at the wall. It's solid, though. And Jackson, you know when William was showing you this, the hatches in and out of the room, they're special metal. They're on push-activated rollers, but you can't just kick it to push it. It has to be a specific type of motion. And as he's sort of kicking at the wall, making this noise, it masks your movement going up. You don't have to roll stealth, either of you. Aaron, Jax, you're first in line. You were heading there first. So Aaron, you'll come up behind.
I'd say we're probably moving together.
The same?
We'd be moving pretty much simultaneously, I'd imagine.
Let's see for fun, speedy-wise, who's the fastest? Just give me a... I'm thinking just an opposed dex roll each. So whatever your skills of dex are, roll each, and that's whoever gets the first hit in.
3 successes on a 3-die roll.
Nice.
That was lucky.
1 success.
So Jackson, you're just a bit quicker at the uptake. As you sort of led forward and Aaron was just a step behind you, it's not a race. Which one do you take? The one kicking the panel or the one standing behind him?
One behind. Try not to alert the one in front until Aaron can get to him.
Sweet as.
So I'd literally reach around, just grab him by the throat.
Cool. I'm just going to make a wits awareness for him. So he got 4 successes. So he's going to spot you right as you go to grab for him. So it's going to be contested strength and brawl, which I dare say you're going to do pretty well on with your activated power.
With lethal body up, yeah.
Yeah. I hope so.
And it's a big roll for me, so.
It's not for him.
We got. Ooh. Messy critical. 4 successes with a messy crit.
4 successes with a messy crit. I love messy crit. Your compulsion, as you get up there, he draws his gun, puts one hand up to stop you, but you're far too strong. He gets the shot off, but it just goes into the wall. Echoes loudly through the room, through the corridor. Aaron, you see this. The bullet goes nowhere near you. Jackson's pushed his hand off to the wall. And then, Jax, you just go into a rage.
I'll just go in for
the beast in your head goes, this is easy. Yeah. Too easy. And bam. Going for the throat? Give us a full description, man.
Literally bangs out straight for the throat and just munch into it. Rip it out and then start drinking from the wound.
Nice. And then, so as you grab him, grab his throat with your teeth. You've got your his hands with your hands, and you've just into his throat, and you just drive him to the ground. The other one turns just in time to see you, Aaron, and how are you going to attack him? Claws out, I see.
Yes, I'm going to just attack him and try to go for a killing throat.
So give me...
strike.
Yeah, give me that. Do you want to use your strength or your dexterity for quickness?
Oh, we'll go with strength and brawl.
Strength and brawl? Okay. And I'll go contested. He's going to try... He's got an automatic weapon he's holding up while he's kicking the door, so he's going to go dexterity firearms to try and be quicker than you. which I don't think he will be. 1, 2, 3. I get 3 successes.
Oh, he failed compared to me.
Yeah.
All right, so it's a crit on 3 dice.
Whew.
Okay, so
and
that's
6.
4 normal successes.
so crit, so it makes 4 plus another one that's 5. That's
5.
yeah. And then how many other normal ones?
And 4 normal ones.
Oh shit!
So 9 total successes.
Jesus Christ!
He got 3, and I was thinking, oh, he's going to get a grazing wound. But with your 9, you are just too strong, too fast. Same thing.
And against mortals, it actually does aggravated damage.
Aggravated, yeah. Most of you guys wounding on these guys is pretty hardcore anyway. But he tries to get that shot off, and it's like you hear that tuk tuk tuk, and then you're just quick, you're strong, and same thing. You describe how you want to put him out.
Oh, I'll just rip his throat out with my bare hands.
So you with those elongated claws.
Yeah.
Sweet. So yeah, you grab that same thing. You grab that gun, moving it aside, almost yanking his arm out of his socket, and with the other hand, you grab his throat, and he sort of tries to cry for help, but you've gripped it hard, and he's like, oh, and you just pull it. Your claws just almost like scissors, just shung in behind his jugular and through that throat canal, and just rip it right out. And he's just standing there for a split second as you hold the other arm, and it's sort of spraying, and the noise of gurgling as he drops to his knees and then sort of flops over backwards. Not so good for him. Good day for you guys.
And I'm going to drink this guy dry too, by the way.
You're going to drink him dry.
I'm not going to stop.
Okay. You only have 2 as well. So you'll spend about a minute just continuously drinking as you reduce yourself to 0 hit points for the rest of the evening. 0 hit points. 0 hunger for the rest of the evening.
While he's doing that, I'm going through.
And I had a superficial wound too. Does that heal that?
I will say if it's one superficial, I will give that to you. Yep, I'm being a kind storyteller.
It doesn't worry me either way, but.
No, I'm having a good night. Story's good. Aaron, what were you doing?
While he's drinking, I'd be going through the other guy's body, taking ammunition and his gun as well.
Excellent. So he was carrying a Steyr AUG, and the ammunition. He's got 2 more racks on his belt. Looks like he's emptied half the clip he's got, but the other 2 clips, I think their 15s are full. If they're not, they're whatever they are normally. It's on a strap as well.
Steyr, I think, is 18.
18, is it?
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
18, depends, 18 to 25, depending on the style.
No problem. 2 full clips and 1 half clip. And he has a couple of those round metal grenades that you recognise from the ball. The little oil spraying fire igniters.
I would take them too.
Yeah, I would also strip the guy of communications weapons as well, and prepare to head down the tunnels.
So they're the same as what Echo found on the one on the roof. A single radio with an earpiece, and this guy has a similar weapon. He's got a pistol. The one that Aaron had didn't have his pistol, but the one that you've got in front of you has a pistol, and he has a Steyr slung over his back.
Yeah, I'd leave the pistol, grab the Steyr and rounds.
Okay, no worries. And then head to where?
Down the passage, yeah.
Down the passage, yep. So he managed to, in his time, kick the passage somewhat open. You know how it was opened by William.
And
I would say
sure
you have a rough idea of the
we close it behind us as well.
Even closing it, he's kicked it enough that it's sort of obvious now, but nonetheless, you guys can head into that. Same thing, you head for 4 or 5 minutes down the corridor, and finally,
William... before we do, what I would do at the entrance of that tunnel, knowing that it has been damaged and it's probably obvious that maybe other SI would follow us.
Yes.
I would set a very rudimentary booby trap with one of the grenades. Coil a wire out of my vest pocket and link it to the opening of the hatch. So when it opens, it pulls the pin.
Yep.
And
that makes sense.
Sets the grenade off.
I would say
take about a minute or 2 to set up.
Yeah, do a Dex Firearms for me to see how good this is.
Dex Firearms.
Aaron, anything while he's spending a minute or so to do this that you'd like to get into?
Nah, literally just put the weapons away.
Stashing the weapons, sweet.
Yep.
No worries. William Chopin enters the area while you're setting up here. What did you get, Jax?
3 successes.
3. Yeah, it's not too bad. You're talking about the SI metal ball as a grenade
Yes.
you're setting up, or a regular grenade?
The
SI
one. Yep.
Yeah, so studying it, the other one that you guys had, it's a twist to move, so you have to set your string up so it's sort of wrapped around it to untwist it. And then it's not too bad. You spend about a minute, maybe a little longer you thought, maybe about a minute and a half to 2 minutes just making it work, because being a little metal ball that needs to be twisted, it wasn't as easy as it seemed. But if anyone comes through that door now, it's spraying and flaming. They ain't going to be happy. And as you were setting this up, as Aaron was sort of watching you back, William Chopin comes up and says, "Oh, good. I think that's the last of you. I haven't seen Echo, but she wasn't listed as in. So
she's safe on the outside somewhere.
Oh, good.
The prince. Have you seen him? We lost him in the fray down there. We couldn't get to him, and with fire and stuff, I dare say the cameras are probably down by now.
They are. He went back in. The last thing we saw on camera was he released. We didn't see on camera what he released, but he released something. It came out of the room.
I think we saw what he released. And so I'm going to have the hands full with him.
Yeah, if it's what I think it is, then yes. Nonetheless, then he went back in through a hatch to, I believe it was the 3rd or 2nd floor, and started attacking SI. He was ripping them apart. He was fairly angry, as Leslie can get. I mean, this place was meant to be reasonably well hidden. It seems our SI friends have found it, and we're going to have to create a new Elysium in the upcoming days. But
the Primogen's out.
Primogens are out. You are the last of the hounds to come out. We just haven't found Leslie.
Fuck. I've got extra guys on rooftops, hopefully overwatching the graveyard escape. Hopefully nothing else gets happen over there, but we need to find Leslie, now.
Have you seen Timothy?
Timothy?
He was in the cells. They gave him a room, but he was still locked away.
I thought he was moved from Elysium.
He was, but the sheriff and the prince were talking to him about some undercover work using his face skill thing.
We wouldn't know if we saw him anyway if he's using that. If he's escaped, there's no way of telling who he is or what he is or even where he is at this point.
And I haven't seen the sheriff either.
Well, we need to get out of here. It's not safe anymore. There's breach in the lower levels. I've booby-trapped the door. Don't use this one again if you're going to stay.
Okay. I was just making sure where everyone was. You were the last ones to find. I think everyone else is out now. Let's head. We won't go the same way. We'll take a couple of rights and left here, and then everyone sort of comes out in a different area in the graveyard. We don't want to all get jumped together if they know about the graveyard.
Are the wards holding? Anyone made it through these tunnels?
There's been no one in the tunnels as yet. This was the first attempt looking at what you're doing.
Right. Get out of here.
Good to go. And he heads, leading you guys through corridors. He looks at you, Aaron, you, Jackson. You guys haven't seemed to have taken too bad of a damage compared to the others.
We managed to avoid most conflict. Jax will look at Aaron.
I only got set on fire. That's
giving him a bit of a nod, an apologetic sort of look, knowing that it was kind of his fault that he got set on fire.
Well, you fared better than Sarah. She was looking pretty... she's out, but she was looking pretty bad. Zane does not look very good. Pips, he's hurt. He seems to be angry at Zane.
You said Zane wasn't looking very good? They were in the armory.
Zane looked like... they looked like... I mean, even George and Leslie's coterie, both of them, the 3 of them looked pretty worse for wear, to be honest.
Yes, I wasn't down that far.
I'll
sort that with him later.
It's Zane, and we did leave him in an armory, and God knows what he did.
True.
I went to the armory to make sure everyone was clear, and there was signs of struggle there, yes.
We'll catch up with them. Let's just get out of here, and I'll see if we can join my guys, get on Overwatch, and see if we can find Prince and all this mess.
Okay. You get to an area where William says phones will work again. It's getting near to the end of the tunnel space.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's just about out of the tunnels altogether.
While we're moving, I'll make a phone call into Joe.
So you can make the call to Joe. Yep. Joe picks up.
Situation.
Graveyard's clear. So we've had some Kindred coming out. The Keeper of Elysium has sort of been directing them to vehicles. He let us know earlier on this stint. There's 6 of us here. I've got 2 men on rooftops on one side, 2 men on rooftops on the other, and myself and Eric on foot. We're just patrolling the graveyard. It's huge here, though. Maybe I underestimated, but maybe should have
That's
bought a couple
fine.
more.
No time for that now. Get word to Overwatch to scan the rooftops for other snipers. Take them out indiscriminately.
Okay,
Pick
we've
your
been scanning,
targets.
but we haven't seen anything. But yes, okay, we'll do that again.
Anyone that looks like SI, even remotely, I don't care. Take them out.
We'll do. You see
We'll
him
be
put
out
his-
shortly.
He puts his hand. Oh, you phoned him. So he
Yeah.
puts his hand to his ear as he hangs up and radios off to the others.
I would have actually suggested that he takes out everything.
That's
Because,
pretty much what I said.
yeah, because
He's got a pretty good eye.
hopefully he just kills them all.
Well, I'll be joining him shortly.
I need to
I
go
mean,
for a hunt.
We have a few hours of nighttime left before sun rises, so they're going to have us at a disadvantage. But I want to take as many of those fuckers I can before I go.
And you're right. It's about 4:30. You've got about an hour and a half of nightlife before it's time to rock. Though it looks to be things have settled down, you're not hearing as much of the gunfire in the distance. Though you walk a fair way in these underground tunnels. Echo. You are back on the top of the roof. You've been watching the area, trying to keep yourself focused on what's going on. The ambulances have stopped taking. No one's been coming out the front door anymore. The ambulances have stopped taking Kindred or Ghoul or whoever's come out of the building. There's only a fire truck, 2 fire trucks and a couple of police cars. Once you left, they noticed their own people that were down, and they were freaking out and quickly got them off the scene. There are no more onlookers with cameras. They've been pushed way back down the street by some more police officers. Hard to say whether it's actual Melbourne police or whether it's still SI agents, but any crowding has been pushed back as the helicopter is precariously. It's been long hummed down. The motors have stopped, but it's sort of precariously just sitting in the side of the building. Give me a wits and awareness, please, Echo.
That would be can I use a willpower?
If you need to re-roll up to 3 dice, you may.
That would be bad.
If you have any to spend.
Okay, 5 now. It's really bad.
How many did you get?
I got 5 because I had a 2, and then I got 3 successes on the reroll.
5's good.
God.
5's very good. You look over the other side of the rooftop as you see movement where you saw the other 2 snipers. You recognize 2 of Jackson's men. You've seen them before. It's a distance, but you spot them. I mean, the distance is across the street, so it's not too far, I suppose, but they're on top of the buildings. And you see them nearing the 2 snipers that were on the roof. And they're Kindred as well. They quickly take these 2 snipers down. It's 2 men on one sniper, boom, 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 down. 2 men on the other sniper, boom, 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 down. They jump across rooftops like it's nothing. They are no longer the 2 snipers across the way. You hear a slight noise behind you. Something grabs your mouth. And you hear a voice. Shh. I've scouted the area. Nice job. It's Billy. He appears beside you. He drops his invisibility. his scabbed face bearing his clan burden. He hands you a pair of binoculars and he's holding a duffel bag. Scout the area again with ease. Look over there by the graveyard while I set up.
Right.
Points towards the graveyard block, and your building, like I say, is sort of 5 or 6 stories. The one across the road is probably about 4. You're slightly higher than that, so you can see the graveyard block. We can't see the front half of it that backs onto Elysium, but you can see the rear half of it.
I'm going to activate, which is free shadow cloak, so that we're both extra shadowed in the darkness. As he
Sweet.
sets up.
He's crouching down and moving to his bag as well. So the binoculars he's handed you are fancy, very military, and they have a night vision mode.
Check out the remaining. I'm going to see where Jackson's men are, and I'm going to see where, if I can see anyone coming out near the graveyard or anywhere else.
Yeah. So everyone is in this at this point now. Zane and Pip, the guards that are leading you out to the graveyard, you've come out of a darkened mausoleum sort of area from underground, and there's a hatch. They slide. It's like a top of a grave slides back, and you come up in between quite high black wrought iron fences. It's still dark, but you can see okay. There's no street lights in the graveyard. When I say see okay, it's there's moonlight. There, unless you're activating a specific power, there's not much in the way of vision, but you can't see anyone else in this area. Jax and Aaron, about 2 or 3 minutes after Pip and Zane exit, you are led out of a similar space. Same thing, quite high wrought iron fences with old sort of weeds growing up them. The area is quite darkened. You see further away, you can see where Pip and Zane are coming through into the graveyard. You're all on the back end of the Elysium building. When I say the back end, you're not right beside it. You're about halfway through the graveyard. Not quite halfway through. It's a huge graveyard. Melbourne's a big city. It's huge. Obviously, it's not the only graveyard, but it is a massive space. According to Google Maps, it's huge. And you've got a fair walk ahead of you. And switching back to Echo, he has unlocked his sniper rifle and scope out of its military case. You see Pip, Zane emerge. You see Jax and Aaron emerge. William Chopin. Most of the Primogen have gone by now. Billy says, they've been exiting in the graveyard. It's fitting. They're like a fish in a barrel. That's why the SI is set up there. Luckily, looks like Jats's men took out the last of them. I got the others.
Oh, good.
There were more on the opposite side of the street. I was here about 2 hours ago before they all started exiting. Got most of them.
You've had your fun then? Huh.
Had to do it the quiet way. Not really as much fun.
Likewise. Any sign of the prince or anyone else?
No, but I guess, hang on a minute, and I'll get everyone to roll a wits and awareness, please. Billy sees it. He's looking through the scope of his rifle.
Two.
Okay, Echo, what'd you get? 4.
3.
3. Pip, what did you get?
4.
4. Aaron.
1 success.
1. Zane.
1 success.
Jax.
Sorry, I was muted. 3.
Sweet.
2.
So-
Sorry, 2. It was 2.
Pip, you're the only one with 4, is it? Nice. Pip, the rest of you see movement in the graveyard. But Pip, you're the only one who spots it, and Billy mentioned it to you, Echo, so he spots it too. At the opposite end of where all of you are, obviously except Echo, who's seen it from the rooftop, as Billy points it out and makes her move her binoculars a bit now. Pip, you see, and I would like to assume that, Jax, Aaron, Pip, and Zane are all sort of moving together at this point.
Jackson will be moving away from them, heading for the nearest rooftop.
Okay, sweet. All right, good to know. So as you were moving, that's probably why you low rolled. You guys keeping together or moving out yourselves?
I would have probably said to Aaron, get these guys out of here. I'm going to join my guys.
It's a good call. I'd like everyone to sort of make their own decisions on where they want to be at this point.
Stay with Zane, because I promised to get him out.
Cool.
Oh, I'll be getting the hell out of there.
Okay, so you guys are sort of heading out towards the gate, towards the cars, okay. So, Jackson, as you're heading up to the rooftop, you don't quite see what's going on, but the rest of you sort of notice there's movement. But Pip's the only one who sees it clearly. Pip, I think you're shaken from that vision and you're really scoping for it. But you do see the prince. He's quite a ways away. He's walking through the back end of the graveyard, getting closer to the street. Jax, your men are probably on the opposite side. They're patrolling the area, and your men on the roof taking care of the snipers may not have seen it. I would say they didn't. Nonetheless, behind Leslie, about 10 meters, someone fades into view. Jax, you were going to say something?
Yeah, so just point of reference, I would have stopped at a vehicle that would have been brought with my guys and grabbed a rifle, long rifle, with a scope.
Okay. Scope rifle, no problem. So it'd probably take you a little longer to get to the roof as this is happening. I would say if you're making your way out the side of a building stairwell, you could hit a landing and have sort of may get to see the rest of this, but it depends because you're low roll, you may not, your attention unless it's drawn. But Pip, what you see and what Billy and Echo are seeing is Jeremy, otherwise known as Tim, stalking behind Leslie a few graveyards back. He's quick, and so is Leslie, but he catches up to Leslie, and as he does, Pip, he changes face, changes body shape. He now looks like the sheriff. Leslie doesn't seem to notice until the sheriff stands straight upright and says, you sort of hear a murmur, you're not sure what they say, it's too far away, but he says something to Leslie. And Leslie faces to look at him and reaches forward to shake his hand. And at one instantaneous moment, Aaron, you and Zane, as Pip is walking with you, heading towards the car area, almost moving away from this. Pip, do you say something?
My vision, it's happening. I think we can. And it'll just point.
Okay, so you, Zane, and Aaron both now can see what Pip's pointing at in the distance. Like, I don't know, it's about 500 to 600 meters away. Just the figures are noticeably them.
All I say, I'll just say, what vision, Pip?
I'll explain later. The prince, Jeremy.
And as you're speaking, the Jeremy Timothy, now sheriff, drops long claws and he plows his right-hand digit straight into the prince's neck. I'm going to roll dice here for a second. You will see the prince's. I'll roll for him as well. Okay. Cool. The prince's reflexes are lightning sharp. He is able to stop the other hand. He can't stop the first hand. The first hand goes into his neck, and you can see Aaron, claws like yours, digging from the other side. He has taken a shitload of damage, but he stops the other hand as Jeremy or Marco or whoever this is tries to sever his head from his body. Echo, Billy, you hear beside you. And he's making a shot. He is rolling dice. Right. I'll get you all to jump in a second. I'm just rolling dice for Billy. And I roll for the prince. And I'm going to tell you these outcomes while I write them down here. Right, so the gunshot rings out. You guys hear it. Jackson, you hear it, and it makes you look, and you see
Do I see a muzzle flash? from the
If you're
from the
at the top
direction
of
of
the
the shot?
building,
I'd
yes,
be
you
probably
do.
2/3 way up the fire escape to
I
get a
would say
view of
you
the
would
view of everything.
give me a wits awareness then. You're working your way up the fire escape.
4.
Okay. Yes, you see muzzle flash. It's loud.
I would steady myself on the fire escape and return fire at the muzzle flash.
Okay. So I'll resolve this first. The shooter, 7 successes, including 1 on the blood die. The prince, only 3 successes and nothing on the blood die, which he currently has 3 of. Echo, you're seeing this in the binoculars. It's a headshot. The projectile seems to shred the top quarter of Leslie's head off. Pip, Aaron, and Zane, unfortunately, you're not close enough. You would see something fly off, but I don't think you'd see the totality. The left eye of the prince is sort of, and the sheriff figure sort of rides the body to the ground. He looks up, sort of looking to where the shots come from, but he uses that moment, and I'm going to make a contested brawl. Echo, you can see the prince is still alive. He's fighting for all his might. His assailant is going to strength and brawl, and he is going to opposite that. I'm reading heaps of sheets here at once. Bear with me, guys. I want the dice to tell everything in the story I can. So both have the same amount of dice in their pool. The prince gets 2 successes on the black. One is a crit symbol, but only 1. 2 on the blood, and 1 is a crit fail. It's a total of 1, 2, 3. It's 4 successes. The guy on top of him, the Timothy sheriff, is 3 on the black and 3 on the blood die for a total of 6. He drives his second hand into the neck of the prince and just severs Prince Leslie's head. Then he gets up quickly and dives behind a large gravestone. I'm imagining like the larger sort of square style gravestone with a large sort of carved cross on it. As he ducks behind it, he hides away for a moment. Silence rings. Jackson, you're shot.
Yes, I'd be aiming slightly high and to the left of where the muzzle flash was.
Okay, high into the
Figuring
left.
that someone would be behind a rifle, and that just only just above.
Sweet
Adjusting
as.
for it.
You're at a lower point. It's going to be hard angle. Give me a dexterity
in that
firearms.
case, lower angle, it'll be slightly low and to the left then.
Slightly low. That's fine.
Try
Give
and
me a
hit
dexterity
the
firearms.
Body. Oh, that's good.
It's going to need
1, 2, 3, 4. That would be 7 successes.
Do
7
I
successes.
notice the coterie returning any fire?
Yeah, so you've got binoculars on the scene, and you would have seen where they are going to. So I would say you would spot all of them, including, because you've seen Jax's men, and he's climbing one of the buildings that one of them is on.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen the coterie in the graveyard. So yes, you see return fire coming. Unfortunately, Jack's shot just in that general direction. He's got a high dice pool. Anything you want to do in that split second, Eco?
I want to step in front of it.
Okay. I'm going to roll for Billy, and you're going to roll for you. Give me a step in front of it. Carry on.
I'm going to say fire. I'm going to say incoming, and I'm going to step in front of it.
Okay. You need to be quick, and he does too. Dexterity. You're getting in his way, so I'm thinking you need to be quick, so it's going to be athletics. He's going to roll dexterity survival. We got to put up Billy's sheet.
So while you're rolling that, again for reference, 50 caliber with incendiary round.
Yes, cool. Okay, good to know.
3.
3.
I'm going to try and push him out of the way, like if I'm stepping in front.
Okay. I'm just checking his sheet now, so... Oh, he's got a big pool. 5 and... Survival 2. 5, 1, and blood. How many did you get?
7.
I got... Oh.
7. And Echo, you got
I got 3.
3. The round, it clips you, but it's closer to Billy and it's incendiary. So you've put yourself trying to go in front, but you're just not quite quick enough. It grabs Billy right in this sort of that left bicep. It's come from lower, and even though Jax is aimed higher, it's a hard target. And Billy's quick, but not that quick. Incendiary round for a 50 cal, did you say, Jackson?
Yeah. That'll
Okay.
be, it's a high velocity round, so it'll do
Yep.
pretty severe damage.
It's going to be up there. Okay,
It's hit him in the arm, it's chances it may even sever the arm.
That's what I'm thinking as well. Echo, height-wise, you and Billy are similar, and if you've tried to move in front of him, I would say it's probably either caught your arm or your ribs. It depends how you went. Did you sort of lunge or did you just step?
I'm just gonna try and push him out of the way quick because I'm not thinking. So I'm just like.
Okay, so it's going to be your hand then, because you're pushing sort of chest area. It's coming at that height. So as it goes off, you're going to take 2 aggravated, as it basically takes half your left hand, and incendiary round, so it's going to be burning as well. So there's another 2 superficial on top of that. Billy's taking. Sorry.
Yeah, I was thinking with that, looking down the scope, and I see what's going on. Like, can I see that there's another person there?
You're only going to be able to see like their upper torsos, but yes, you could probably just about tell who it is.
Shadows up. You had shadow up there,
I've
didn't
got
you?
shadow up.
Oh, she's got shadow up. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
so
also,
that might
I wouldn't
change
know.
things.
Yeah, I wouldn't know who it was. I mean,
Might
I
not
would
be.
shoot at the direction of the muzzle flash still.
Yeah.
But
It adds 2 to stealth. Yeah.
That's a good point.
So-
I would say, oh shit, we might even have to add 2 to our pools because of that. I forgot about that up. Just roll 2 more dice to your pool to see. Okay, that's better. That gives me crit.
Yay.
Okay, so that
I thought
gives
that
me
would be a case. Yeah,
So that gives me 7 successes because I had
that's even.
single crits, so that's even. So I will say he's still going to take aggravated damage because of the fire rounds. I don't think it's going to take his arm. Echo, it's still going to do some damage to you. Take 1 aggravated as it clips the back of your hand, but hits. It's almost like it's gone between you. As you've pushed him, it's clipped your hand, and then it's clipped his arm as well, and blasted into sort of like one of the stairwell entryways down into the building behind you. But it's hurt them both. He's taking 3 aggravated still because it clipped him harder. But neither of you are wounded to the point where you're going to be
another
catching.
quick question. Sorry.
Yep.
Flash of the incendiary round, would that make any difference to the shadow? Would it
Not-
light them up in any way?
So no, it will not. It is swallowed. The incendiary round makes it. You get an instant flash. You see 2 figures, and then it is swallowed in cloud.
That's all I needed to know. Rapid reflexes, reload and refire.
Okay. At that, and I'm going to say your rapid reflexes would be good, but at that I'm going to say Echo and Billy get a chance to hunker down. So they're going to do a dexterity survival, Echo, if you can. Just to get yourself away or down, it's your choice.
It's not gonna be great. 2.
Back to his sheet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. And blood away. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Heaps 5. So you're making your shot again, using rapid reflexes.
Yep.
Rapid reflexes. Does that cost you anything?
Nope.
Nope.
There's
So
a
you're good.
free cost.
So using, and I'll just look to your character sheet as well.
Dexterity firearms.
Yep, dexterity firearms.
Plus
and you're using-
celerity.
Plus, yep. That's exactly it.
4, 5, 6, 9.
9. You're quick, very quick. Same distance. Echo and Billy both hunkering down as quick as they can. The round, as they go down, and I would say it's gonna just be almost like he's held his gun up to duck, and it's taken the front of his gun off, and flame. 2 more superficial damage, Echo. And he's taken 2 more aggravated because it was really on his hand and arm. Billy's not looking too good, but you're both laying down on the deck now. Jackson, it looks like you hit your target. Once again, that flame is just swallowed. Oh, and Echo, roll 2 more dice for that fucking shroud. I keep forgetting. Okay, that puts me at 8.
I forgot too. I got another one more, so 3.
So I went from 6 to 8. So I will. So do not take that damage for him. He only takes a superficial from the blast. Echo, what did you put you at? 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so you will take. What did I say before? I forget. I wrote Billy's down, not yours.
I got 1 aggravated and 4 superficial altogether.
Okay,
Is
so
that what you're talking about?
take a superficial off.
Okay.
Just you got down quicker than that. Jackson, you can still see it's very black up there, and it ignited the area, but you can't see the figures any longer.
I'll just wait there and just gain my scope on that spot.
Sweet.
Oh, I really can't be there any longer, and make a beeline for the van and get the hell out of there and head to the closest place I know where I can bed down for the day.
Cool.
Which would probably be the tunnels of my old haven.
Lastly,
It's close.
back in the graveyard, you guys have just seen this character, this assailant, Leslie, tear his head off, jump behind a gravestone. The shots rung down, then you've heard shots ring back, and then you watch the assailant transform back to Jeremy and then dart off. What are you guys doing?
I'd say to turn to Aaron, I'm like, Aaron, I know you do things for your own reason, and I can't promise you there'll be much pay out of this, but we can't let whatever that is have what's left of the prince. And you're the fastest.
You want me to chase this dude down?
Just need to get to the body. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think the guy's diablerizing it, but I'm like, I don't want whatever this is to have the prince's powers.
So you've seen the transforming character from the sheriff to Timothy and back. Sorry, Timothy to the sheriff and back. He's running away from the body. He's left it there. So are you're sending Aaron to the body or to the assailant?
To the body.
To the body, okay.
There's no way we'll catch him. I'll go too, but I'm not quick enough. It's up to Aaron.
With the Steyr, I
Yes.
would take a shot at the guy that's running away.
Okay.
At the same time, running, like take a shot and then run towards where the dead prince is now.
Yep.
Or was.
Okay, sweet. So we'll resolve so you're taking your first shot at the guy running away first?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. I will say take your shot with your dexterity firearms. He is going to activate an ability right at the same time.
That would be 4 successes.
Okay, 4 successes is good. No, he can't do that. I'm not going to do that ability at all. He's just going to continuously run. 4 successes. He's going to make a dexterity survival as he's running away. So you're using the Steyr, you said, right?
Yeah, use the Steyr. Because it's a more accurate weapon over distance.
All right. 4 successes to beat. Come on,
Yeah.
dice.
Than a pump action shotgun, at least.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total successes. 1 on the blood die and 4 on the black die. Not enough, no criticals unfortunately, but enough to give me 4. So he is fast, and he darts from gravestone to gravestone. And with that, I'd say you wing him. There's a shot. You sort of, did you set it to pulse or just single shot?
It would have been single shot.
Single shot. So
to try to get the most accuracy out of it.
sweet as. So you sort of shoulder position it, and boom, and you're aiming for that centre mass again. I feel like you just winged his shoulder as he's darting from gravestone to gravestone. But with that, as soon as he feels that you see him sort of go, even hear him, grabs his shoulder. Now, Zane and Pip, is there anything you're doing in this moment?
I'll be heading towards the prince's body, just
Oh,
knowing I'm not faster than Aaron.
I'm just
Sweet.
looking in awe going, so what's happening here?
Okay, so you're not moving anywhere, you're not doing any.
No, I'm just enjoying the show.
Enjoying the show, good work. Aaron, you hit him. He drops behind a large gravestone. You don't see him re-emerge. Pip, you're heading towards the prince's body. Takes a little way to get there, it's a ways off. Aaron, are you heading forward with him?
Yeah, I'll head up enough. So he's behind I saw him go behind a large
Saw
gravestone.
him drop behind a gravestone. Yeah, about a sort of waist height gravestone, about a metre wide.
Alright, so I would throw one of those fire grenades at that spot to try to
Alright.
get it on the other side.
Okay. For reference, everyone else, Echo, Billy, and Jackson, you can hear police sirens on the streets nearby coming your way. Actually, Pip, Aaron, and Zane probably will as well. Police sirens. There was already police there, but no sirens were rolling before, but there seems to be some now. Aaron, you biffed that grenade. No hassle. Give me it's going to be accuracy, so give me I'll just say dexterity firearms again. Zane, are you staying there or are you moving up with him?
Stand there, and with
So
the
stay.
hearing the sirens, I'd probably do unseen passage.
Unseen passage, good as gold. Activating unseen passage.
That time it's better. So, wait a minute, if you get a critical, it's 4?
If you get 2 criticals, yeah.
Alright, so yeah, I got the 2 critical thingers plus 2, so whatever that equals.
So 4 plus 2, 6. That's good. You get it right at that gravestone and it just ignites. You don't see or hear anything, but you hit your spot. You hit the target. No noise, no running, no nothing.
No, so he's gone, I guess. But so keep an eye on that spot and keep on heading towards.
Yeah, so just looking down the sights of the gun, watching that same spot.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, that area type deal, because the grenade should have caused him to get into a lot of pain.
There's a lot of flames and fire around that headstone, a good spread of about 2.5 meters wide circle of flame and fire. Nothing made a noise, nothing moved. You're in Cloak of Shadows, Zane, so you're happily there. Pip, you get to the body eventually. The head is severed at the neck. The prince's head, as it's come off, you can see it's already turned to ash and is fading away, just crushing in on itself, folding in the sockets of the eyes first, and as you're up, the chest sort of drops and it's just clothes and ash.
Grab some of what remains and
Oh, lost his volume.
just grab what remains and look to Aaron and say, I guess we get out of here.
Alright, sounds like a plan. Let's get out of here. And just-
Right. And with that, everyone makes their way to their respective places. Echo and Billy, a little worse for wear on the top of that roof. And this is where we will call the end of season 1 of Vampires of Melbourne, I guess. Blood and Belief. Well done, teams. So
GG's.
damn good.
Bloody traitor.
What the fuck?
I'm one of the good guys. I don't like talking about
Oh.
y'all.
That depends on what side of the fence you're standing on.
Exactly.
Well, no one knows anything yet. No one knows anything.
No,
But
indeed.
we're going to do something a little different if it's all right with you, Evil.
Be my guest, sir.
I kind of like what you did with Vampire, the other vampire, the Kesestrad. So I think just since it's the end of the season, we'll get a note from everyone tonight about maybe their favourite part of tonight, but also of the whole first season, what their favourite part of the whole first season was each, if that's cool.
No
And we can bring
problem.
Sarah back for that
We
as well.
certainly
If that's all right.
can. Do. There we go. Yoink.
That means I have to think of something. Damn it.
Yeah, you
Yep,
do.
oh, you can have a few moments to discuss if you like. Thanks for being with us again, Mina, for that first part.
Definitely. Thank you, chat, as well, for hanging out with us for 17 episodes of this first season of Vampires of Melbourne, Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. First time for many of us playing it. So it's been a bit of a learning curve as well. But yeah, as Storyteller has said, we're going to go around our players here and get a moment or two that stand out from the entirety of season 1 and from tonight's episode as well.
So I'll start with, I'll go backwards from the top. Zane, because he's like, oh, now I have to think of something. So I'm going to put him on the spot.
That's right. I thought of something.
Good.
Sarah. Just the first meeting in the park. Love that whole aspect of it and all that. And then the blasting of Zane. That was awesome.
That was good, eh? That was that nice loud one.
Yes. I think everyone remembers that one.
And from tonight, Echo. Really? That was surprising. That was really surprising. But we'll find out more, I guess.
Yeah. No one really knows. No one actually knows, character-wise, what's going on there. Sarah Barnett, how did you feel about tonight's episode and the chapter as a whole?
Tonight's episode, I'm kind of sitting there going, my characters had something, and when she saw the Sabbat leader leave with the shadows, and I'm like, I know those shadows. That seems suspiciously like what someone did to me while I first met them. But I haven't met Echo since. I've met everybody else since, but not Echo. And Echo's not there.
No.
So, yeah, Sarah's got quite a number of suspicions. But yeah, probably my favorite thing of the whole season is progression of Pip. That's probably my favorite, and I'm not saying this because he's my husband or anything like that.
Yes.
But
Sure.
I knew where he was going to go for tonight's episode, but to see him actually do it was awesome. I really, really like that.
Yeah, agreed. He has definitely come away character-wise. It's good. Chat, don't forget to, you can put your ideas and stuff in on what your favorite parts of the chapter and favorite parts of tonight. Jackson.
I think as far as the first season goes, I have to take my hats off to you, dude. The story itself, considering none of us have really delved into Vampire the Masquerade before. You're definitely an accomplished DM, we all know that. But to delve into a completely new game system and come up with a story with the real world tie-ins and things like that. Characters like Van Diemen and Billy Singh, all these characters from history as well, which has been really, really cool. Been the biggest standout for me is just the story as a whole. I mean, characters included. But from tonight, two standout moments is that change in Pip. 100% agree with that. Just seeing Pip as this meek and mild, sort of confused child, if you will, and then just an almost instant change, something more centered and focused and just right there.
See,
kind of thing.
I did do something right by taking that from him with me.
And of course, this little twist at the end here with Billy and Echo. Obviously, our characters don't know it, but great for the story. And I had my suspicions as a player, but that's based on conversations that Yanti and I've had in the past about the whole Vampire Masquerade thing. I sort of twigged to what was going on, but as a character, obviously no clue. But well done. A very timely twist for the end. Didn't expect the prince to die tonight. I thought he might have been wounded, but definitely didn't expect the death. Sure.
100% let the dice do all the work, just so everyone knows that all the dice rolls were real. Nothing was made up. I don't like making things up. I like the dice to sort of lead the way. So had it gone the other way, things could have been different. Aaron, good timing. We'll come to you next. Something from tonight, something from the whole chapter.
Something from the whole chapter would definitely be the way Grimm has portrayed Pip. It's been really interesting to see him go from being this shy little bloke to someone that's become like a CEO, telling Zane what to do, which is probably a good thing because Zane couldn't cross the road without getting hit by a semi-trailer. And tonight's episode, it kind of a little bit of meta, seeing Yanti get what she's been trying to do from day dot is actually being good to see actually go through. But yeah, that's it. Next.
It's good. Pip.
So from tonight's episode, I'd have to say probably Zane, because he made what I had in mind so easy, and it's easy to sort of to play off him, and I'm like, he's gonna be Zane and he's gonna make it easy, and it was just great. Like, you don't know what you're gonna get, but and I think he just played that really well. My moment for the season is going to tie to what happened in the end. It's Pip and Echo on the boat, that early on interaction where we're taking Billy to a remote location of Echoes, and it all went pear-shaped, and I'm just like, those moments have stuck in my head the entire season, and now it's come full circle. So
now it makes perfect sense.
it's a beautiful thing. Really.
We had to, something had to make sense eventually. Otherwise, it was just questions, and no answers. So it's good to see. But I'm glad you brought that up, Pip, because it's definitely something that everyone's eyes are a bit more open on that now. And last but not least, Echo.
I would like to credit a lot of those twists to our storyteller for all the behind-the-scenes questions I'd have to ask this whole season. Like, what's Echo doing? And definitely the storyteller evolving everything, and the interrelationships of everyone's growing, like Pip and Echo and Zane and Sarah. Not always growing, but yeah, all those interrelationships has been really cool to watch, and I want to see what happens next season.
Actually, there was something I would like to say that I didn't add in, was watching Magic be the prince.
Yes.
100%.
That was one of my favorites.
Yeah,
just
definitely going to make a mention.
Seeing that temper that I rarely get to see because we're calming him down actually come out. And I'm like, I've seen that before. So
I was definitely going to make a mention of that. Well, obviously, guys, Magic can't be with us tonight because of IRL commitments, which is a bit of a shame because he would have been awesome in his role as the prince as usual. So a big thank you to Magic the Gamer. We all know who he is. Most of you in the chat know who he is as well. Content creator here on Twitch, good friend of mine, has been paramount, a very big supporter of this channel for a long time, and all of us are a big supporter of his channel, and he's probably the only one in this whole group that actually knows VTM very well, so he's helped us build this chronicle as well. So again, a big thank you to Magic the Gamer for being a part of this as well, and Roasted Chicken for playing his character as well. I don't know if he's I don't know if he's in the chat at the moment, but make sure if you have not seen Roasted Chicken, he does stream occasionally as well, so that's cool. But yeah, so that is the end of season 1 of Vampires of Melbourne: Blood and Belief. We will be taking.
I'll actually chuck my moments in there if that's all right.
Yes, sure. I forgot
Just,
about you. I'm sorry.
I was actually had notes for Magic as well. So, as Echo was saying, there's a bit of behind the scenes twists and turns going on that wouldn't have worked without Magic. So I appreciate that effort he put in, and it's the same with all characters. To be honest, we all had a little behind the scenes at one stage or another, but definitely the visitational characters like Sarah and the Prince. There was a lot of behind the scenes work going on there. We were trying not to step on the story that the Hounds were doing, as well as trying to still keep the characters relevant. And then, yeah, like Yanti said, in the work behind the scenes with Echo, I really appreciated a lot of the effort that all of your characters put into you, not just your character sheets, but things in your, just not relying on the storyteller to feed you everything. It was really good. It was helpful to me because I had a lot of stuff I was working on as well, including rules. Trying to figure out how these damn rules work because there's so many of them. But it's all starting to fall into place. And then the note from me from the season tonight was definitely a Pip thing for sure. I was going to say much the same as what everyone else said. I did really enjoy the fighting of Jackson, Aaron as well. But for me, the whole season, and as a notation, I feel for me how do I put it? The inclusion of Billy. I felt like Billy was almost a character that was important to the game. He is important to the game, but for me, it's Billy coming and going, just sort of being in and out of places. And I just really enjoyed. He was the first character with a real name from sort of history that we involved properly. That I was quite happy to have him in there. So that's and how I think it's like Pip said. It's all sort of come roundabouts. Nice to see him back there now. It's almost like the first episode again with an assassination attempt gone right.
This time successful.
So thanks, Evil. Cheers.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, so again...
Before you do,
yes,
Drax put up what he likes.
Oh, he did too, Drax. Yeah, the trap house when the anti-vampire lamps and the hardened wolves. And Pip's van.
And Pip's van driving, yes.
And my losing hand.
I think everyone thinks that was a cool moment because you really deserved it.
I vote Zane lose a part every season.
Yeah,
I
second that motion. If there's not anyone else wants something else to say before we finish up, as I said, next week will be the start of the mini adventure where we have some players, Baz, we have Grim, we have Magic the Gamer, we have JJ Beats, and we have Drax and Roast and Chicken, who's going to join us for that as well. Nutty will be playing a NPC, and that mini adventure should run 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4, depending on sort of how things go. A little mini dungeon crawl called the Curse of Dusk Hollow. It will be starting around 7:30. So we'll probably again get everyone on the Skype call about 30 minutes early, as we normally do. So 7:30 start, run to about 10:30. So hopefully we can get enough content for 3 or 4 sessions on that. So that'll be our breaker, and then we'll be come back for season 2 of Vampires of Melbourne after that. Curse of Strahd is coming Wednesday. Make sure you're there for that. Also tomorrow night, if you're interested, and even if you don't have it, Aliens Fireteam I'll be playing tomorrow night on stream. So if you want to come and hang out and check out, see what that's all about, I'll be running that tomorrow night around 7:30, 8 o'clock start. And if anyone does have it and you want to join me, let me know. 3-man teams. If not, come and hang out and watch me play with some stupid-ass bots, and they'll probably get me killed, which will always be fun. Wednesday, Curse of Strahd. Friday, Stormlord's Wrath on Yanti's channel. And then, as I said, Sunday, back here for some mini-adventure, Curse of Dusk Hollow. We should probably raid, shouldn't we? Let's see who's around. Have we got anyone in Vampire Masquerade?
One more from JJ as well.
JJ, what's up? Jackson Aaron fighting over Zane was really cool as well. Really cool uppy. Oh, yes, the phone thing. I did almost forget about that. Looks like we're the only ones in Vampire the Masquerade. We've got a rerun and us. So we'll look at maybe some D&D. Who is on the D's and D's? Is Pesh running? Oh, there we go. That's an easy choice. Tales of Pesh. What's he doing? He's doing a D&D. He's been running for 1 hour and 25. We're going to raid Tales of Pesh. He'll be doing an Eberron something. Normally, most of the stuff's from the Eberron world, which is slightly different from Sword Coast, but it's still D&D, and it's lots of fun. Go check them out. And we will see you guys here tomorrow night for some Alien Fireteam when I get this raid started. Thank you once again, Mina, Magic, Roasted, players, Storyteller. And we will see you next time.